Good afternoon and welcome to Loughborough University for today's showpiece event of the British University Season Finals Day. I'm joined by my two special guests today. Afternoon, Joe Walker.
Good afternoon.
And James Wilford from the Birmingham Lions. How are you, gents?
Thank you. How are you?
Oh, very well. We've obviously got the Premiership game coming up later on, but we're going to turn our attention to focus on the Div 1 game this afternoon. We've got the UEA Pirates against the Coventry Jets. Just briefly, what can we expect from this game today, James?
I think first and foremost it's going to be a run-heavy day. I'm not sure we're going to see too much through the air today. I think, both in Pregame, both teams are, looking multiple backs and heavy run offences. So, kind of a football purist's game.
And Joe, do you expect to be more excitement? You mentioned obviously in pre-game when we were chatting it's going to be run heavy, as James said. For the people who like the entertaining side of the game, will we see anything through the air at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus Urbanski can pass the football, and he will pass the football. And we've just seen UEA lining up in quads and trips, things like that. So there is going to be some passing today. And I expect to see a vertical passing game in today's game to complement that heavy run attack from both teams.
So we'll try and talk a little bit in the few minutes we've got before kickoff. Kickoff's due at 12 o'clock. Talk a little bit about the both teams. Start with the home teams today, the Pirates. They had a 7-1 regular season record, 3 shutouts on defence and scored over 30 points in 6 out of those 8 games. So what more do you think we can expect to see from them?
Yeah, they're going to be very, very competitive team today. And obviously, whilst it's not a game that's important whether or not you win it or lose, they want to win to show obviously the southern teams like Birmingham how well they're going to play next year in the Premiership. So it's a big point for them.
And James, the playoffs, in their 3 playoff games they scored 14, 17 and 14 points but kept the opposition under 10 points on each occasion.
Yeah, low scoring shows potentially the type of offence they have, ground based, time of possession, and yeah, obviously going to need to rely on that defence today if they're going to lift the trophy at the end of the day.
Just over our shoulder, the Pirates are now taking the field. It's a lovely day here in Loughborough, a little bit windy, but perfect for football. So we'll turn our attention now to the Coventry Jets. They're the away team this afternoon. Coventry again, finished with a 6-2 regular season record in that very tough conference, and they're actually going to move into a very tough conference. What differences might we see with Coventry as opposed to the Pirates?
So you're going to see a bit more of a triple option based attack. They're going to have 2 backs in the backfield or 3 backs in the backfield, and Marcus Urbanski is a real running threat when he wants to be. Athlete at quarterback. He can absolutely stretch the field with his legs, and he's going to pass vertically when he needs to. So you're going to see a little bit less drop back passing from Coventry, and a lot more movement of the ball, a lot more misdirection offense.
In contrast to the Pirates, 3 playoff games for the Jets, they've scored, or they've amassed close to 100 points, and once again, apart from the Renegades game in the semi-final, held both their opponents, the Rams and the Loughborough students, under 10 points.
Yeah, I think it firstly goes to show how strong that conference is, and they have dominated the postseason. It'll be interesting to see today, whether that kind of continues. It'll be an advert for the Southeast Conference. UEA, whether their defence, can match. But no, they've certainly dominated so far this postseason.
So if we talk about and move our attention to next season, whichever of these teams do end up going up, well, obviously they're both going up, but what can they expect? Are they going to be able to survive? Obviously, last year the 2 teams that went up did very, very well and made a real deep run into the playoffs. Could we expect the same from both these squads today? Yeah,
absolutely, and I think that both teams can see themselves being competitive. The challenge for Coventry, as I know, is that they're graduating a lot of their stars, and it's a real challenge to be moving up into the Premiership, losing a lot of talent, and then trying to remain competitive against one of the most difficult levels of football within the UK.
And this is, sorry James, this is, as it turns out, the 100th year of university sporting competition. So to have the final day held here at Loughborough is very good. Fantastic setting. You can hear Coventry have just had their team breakdown. Difficult. There's a lot of people saying that Coventry should win this one easily. Is that a view you share, or will it be just because you can never tell on a final day? Could it be a closer encounter?
Yeah, I think there will be nerves early. I think it will be closer than probably people expect. They've not got any common opponents, so it will be tough to tell. Coventry have looked good, but no, I don't think it'll be as one-sided as people expect.
Well, as you can hear behind us, we're just going to pause for the national anthems, and we'll be back shortly after this. So, national anthem's always a nice little showpiece event at the beginning of any game, get the blood flowing a little bit. Going to hand up shortly to our commentary team for this afternoon. You know I always do this. Joe said earlier when we were talking. Score predictions for this one then. We'll start with Joe.
I think you were going to see, Coventry winning this game potentially, and I think there's going to be a big score. I think that I think we'll probably save that scene for over the PA. We don't want to put anybody off. But what we will do now is we will hand up to our commentary team for this afternoon. We'll join Lincoln Colonials coach George Lees, but first, NTU defensive coordinator Carl Walkinshaw.
With George Lees.
How you doing, Carl?
Very good. Very excited about this one. It's brilliant, isn't it? When you hear the national anthem play as they come out for the coin toss now, it just gets that sense of excitement up and ready for the game.
It's a great day. Weather's just right, not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah, it is, George. They're coming out for the coin toss now. So obviously we'll see who's going to... This is a critical one for both teams, obviously. They're going to want to win the coin toss and get the ball early. It'll be interesting to see what the strategy is. We know that UEA like to rely heavily on their defence, and the last game that they played, they won 14-8, so it was a defensive battle. Let's see if they put their defence out or their offence, depending on whether they win the coin toss or not. Early strategy, do you think, George?
Well, I think Coventry are going to come out hard. I think they're going to come out fast and see what this defence of the Pirates has got. As you've just said there, the Pirates defence has really been their showpiece. I think they've only allowed 53 points through the regular season, so real tough defence to try and crack.
So Coventry will be receiving the ball, so UEA will indeed put their defence out first. So as they shake hands and go to the sideline, we're going to get ready for kickoff, and it will be the Coventry Jets with that flex bone offence, the heavy running game that they've got. They can pass as well, can't they? But they are heavy on that running game.
Yeah, they've certainly got a quality quarterback. He's coming on leaps and bounds, and I think he's shown improvement throughout the season, talking to numerous coaches around the league. And you, of course, have played them 1, 2, 3 times.
We know the Coventry Jets. Thanks for the reminder, George. Yeah, one game away from the final NTU, but happy to be here commentating on the game. Would have preferred to have been here coaching, obviously, but really happy to that you're all joining us for the commentary. And yes, we know Coventry well, less known as UEA, but they had the better record coming into this game with a 7-1 record. Coventry 6-2. But UEA have done well in the playoffs. Only that one loss to the Exiles, and they revenged that loss during the regular season, and then they've been great through the playoffs to bring themselves here.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a phenomenal season. Whether they were quite expecting it, I think they were always the bridesmaid and never the bride quite. They've stepped up this year and they're here today, and of course with that they've got promotion to the Premiership.
So we're up on the roof here, so we've got a good view of the pitch. Number 14 is back for the Coventry Jets to receive this one.
Yeah, it's Abansky who's going to be returning. He's even wearing pink as respect to the fallen NTU.
Marcus Abansky ready to return this one. And here we go, the kickoff of the BUCS Div 1 final is a short one. It's a squib kick. It's picked up at the 25-yard line as he makes his way to his left-hand side. Looks to be good kick coverage there, and he's pushed back. So they didn't want to kick the ball to Abansky early on.
Yeah, it was Ulapona that actually returned it, and he took it well, to say it was bobbling all over the place, but didn't really make anything of it.
All right, so this Coventry Jets offense, you would describe them as explosive, but explosive on the ground. They have a lot of weapons and an interesting formation. It's a college football formation from the States, the flex bone offense. And if you run this offense well, it's tremendously effective.
Yeah, and if you look at the offensive line, I mean, they're not particularly big, but they look fairly athletic, so it's really going to help them here.
First play, 35 in motion, he gets it on the end around, makes good yardage, takes a little stutter step, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5, so good yardage on first down.
Yeah, Horn was the running man in that massive hit from the earlier returner, that pancake hit on the edge. And a nice 5-yard pickup for them.
Makes it a nice 2nd and 5, so options still available to the Coventry Jets offense. Again, watch for these motions. They like to run orbit motions. They like to run across. This time it's going up the middle to the running back, and that's a 3-yard dive play up the run to Owasu.
Yeah, and a nice little gain up the middle there. And as you've said, a lot of moving parts, but if you get the timing right, it can be very, very deceptive and very difficult for a defense to try and read.
Owasu over the last 3 years has rushed for over 1,000 yards for this team. And this team's been together for 3 years. And we'll talk more about their story. But it's 3rd and 2 now. Let's see where the quarterback wants to go to the air. This time motion from 35. And the quarterback will follow Owasu through the hole and will pick up the first down. Yeah. And that's why it's so dangerous, isn't it, George?
Yeah, it is. You've got 3 options, if not really 4 options, with that, with the 2 running backs either side as well. And it was Abansky that picked up the first, narrowly, but he picked it up.
So Patrick Bowen will be calling his name a lot. They like to get the ball into his hands in critical situations. And on 3rd down, he brings up a new set of downs for Coventry. 1st and 10. Close to midfield. Looks like an offside from the defence. Well, we'll see what the flag is on this one, George, because they did blow it dead. So we'll hear from our referees for the first time today. So that's false start against the offence. So Coventry will be pushed back 5 yards, and it will bring up 1st and 15 for the Jets.
Certainly gives the Pirates a bit of an advantage here, as the Coventry Jets picked up that first down with relative ease on the first 3 plays of the game.
Motion from 35 again. This time the pitch 2, and there's a lot of room on that right-hand side. He knifes his way for about 8 yards before the defence can bring him down, and that's Owasu again. And you can see now the type of variety, the different sorts of plays they can run from this formation. Yeah,
they've got the speed when they do get to the edge, and really the Pirates need to seal that off as quick as they can.
We know that UWE's defensive coordinator has been scheming against this flex-bone offence over the last couple of weeks, since they knew they'd be playing Coventry in the final. Let's see whether they can make any inroads. 2nd and 8 now, was 3rd and 15. And this time a new quarterback in, and he's going to keep the ball. So they're bringing a different quarterback in this time. That's Marcus Abansky. So Patrick Bowen we've seen, Abansky we've seen. So they're mixing it up, Coventry.
Yeah, with this flex bone, this triple option, it makes quite difficult scheming for a defensive coordinator. It's not the easiest thing to do. Well, you're speaking from experience, of course, but
3rd and 4 for the Jets. So again, let's see if they give it in the quarterback's hands last time to convert on the 3rd down. Let's see what they do here. And again, it is the quarterback keeper. It's Abansky running to his left, but that's good defensive football. Obviously, they were aware of that, still fighting. Oh, and it's close, and this is the trick with Coventry. They're a big side, they're a strong side, and you have to get men to the ball to bring the quarterback down.
And they have given him the first down, but I hope, for the Pirates' sake, that is not how they're going to be playing defense today. They did so well getting to the ball carrier, but just couldn't bring him down. The tackling was poor, and if they can pick that up, they're going to take Coventry's offense away quickly.
Yeah, so defense coordinator can scheme all you like, but the players have got to execute on the field, and like you say, George, you've got to bring these ball carriers to the ground. So another set of downs for Coventry on this opening series. If you've just joined us, welcome. Coventry have the ball first and are driving now from the UEA 40-yard line. That's complete, and that's a nice pass and catch to Philip Barty-Martel.
It was a nice grab, and he had to leap slightly just to grab it. It was slightly in front of him, but a touch too far, touch too high, but well brought in and a nice pickup.
So Philip started actually as a quarterback, converted to wide receiver, and it just shows that, you know, you focus on the run if you're a defense, and then suddenly first down and the Jets come out with a pass. So you've got to be aware, you've got to cover everything up. All right, back to the action. It's first down again after that conversion. Quarterback back to throw, and this time he manages to escape the pocket. Flag goes down, and that'll be a sack for UWE. So if that stands, that's the first signs of life we've seen from the Pirates.
Yeah, we've seen that they can certainly get to the ball carrier, and they finally brought him down, but again it took 3-4 attempts to bring him down. We'll have to see what the flag's for.
just joining us in this game, we've got 2 great games of football. This is the first. Obviously, this is the Div 1 final.
And that's an unfortunate call. It's a face mask on the Pirates. So that sack is going to be removed. I'd hate to be the person that tells the defence that they've lost the sack, but...
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker, that one. You make a good play, and, you know, it's just one of those things. Penalties do happen, obviously, and it's a 15-yarder, it's a big one, and that's going to push the Jets on their opening drive all the way to the 15-yard line, where they'll have 1st and 10. Again, this time handoff on the sweep. They're trying to work the left-hand side this time, and that is Tondre home.
Sealed up nicely that time by the Pirates defensive ends. All over that play. They read it quickly and they were quick to the point of attack.
And that's the trick against this offense, is getting the defensive line in a position where they can make plays, slow these runners down, and then you have a chance to rally to the football. But if you let them hit the line of scrimmage at full speed, it's tricky to bring them down because they do have a lot of momentum. All right, 2nd and 9.5 after that play. Motion again, left-hand side. This time the quarterback keeps it. Round to his left-hand side, cutting back, rolling, spinning, and UEA finally arrived, but again keeping his feet for a good gain of 6-7. There is another flag.
There's laundry all over the field that time. There's multiple flags on the field this time round. I suspect it'll be on the offense, but we'll see what they call.
So Abansky again showing what a difficult runner he is to bring down. What can the Pirates do to try and halt them here, George?
And it is, of course, on the offense. What can they do? They've got to take away his legs. It's as simple as that. He's big up top. He's a strong runner. And if you're going to hit him up top, he's going to knock you on the floor. So you've got to go low, take those legs away, and he's got nothing to go.
All right, so after that 10-yard penalty, it's going to bring up 2nd and 20 for the Jets. They're having an excellent opening first drive, but there's been a penalties both sides. This time Abansky's going to keep it running to his right behind the blocking, and he cuts to his right, still going, and now finally pushed out of bounds. It's a gain of 8 yards on 2nd down, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 11. So yeah. UWE desperate to keep them out of the end zone on this opening drive.
Yeah, and I think it'll do them wonders to well, of course they didn't want to let the Jets roll down the field as far as they have, but if they can stuff them here, it will really put them in good stead, as I suspect Coventry are the kind of team that may well go for it on 4th.
All right, so we've got 3rd and 12. They do like to go to those upbacks on these passes. Let's see where they go. Abansky back to throw over the middle, and that is incomplete. So going to ground at the 1-yard line, just couldn't get it in.
Yeah, drop to the last. And it looked like 15 was the intended target for the Jets. Olapona.
Yeah, they like to go to those upbacks on the passing game. They don't really use their receivers too much on their passing game, but UWE holding firm so far. Jets threatening, but it is 4th down. Back to throw is Abansky. Looks to his left, but nothing there. Now he's on the run. UWE trying desperately to bring him to the ground, and they do finally back at the line of scrimmage. Great play there by UWE Bullets.
Yeah, it looks
and
like
they get a turnover on downs.
Minshall was the man that eventually brought him down, but again, he runs so hard. 3-4 missed tackles before he has to be brought down. And they're the plays that could go horribly wrong and end up in a score, a big play, a big breakaway play. But hopefully the momentum swung here and Mo switches sides.
So, UEA for the first time coming out to show us what they've got on offense. They like to run a spread attack. Very different. So we're looking at 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top of your screen. More traditional kind of spread attack that you see in the British game now. 1 receiver to the left of the quarterback.
Tight end looking at the end of the line, just set off.
Oh, there's that run game there to try and start, but absolutely nothing there as the Coventry Jets swarming that line of scrimmage.
Absolutely mullered at the line there. Coventry Jets quick to the ball. That's what you like to see from a defence, and the difference, and a clear difference, is how fast they brought the ball carrier down. No missed tackles, straight on him, 3 guys, and brought him down to the ground.
So UWE wanting to get that running game going, but no joy on first down, so that's going to bring up a second and long, 2nd and 14 for them. Again, Coventry crowding that line of scrimmage. Shotgun quarterback, takes the snap, looks to his left, goes left, fires, and that's caught. Oh, it's dropped. I spoke too soon.
Curse of the commentator, Borthwick, that dropped the ball there.
Trying to get the ball out into the flat there just to get something going, but that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And it was well in space as well. One quick turn and he could have made some yards after, but got to bring that ball in first and foremost.
Early nerves, do you think, George, in the final?
Perhaps. We'll put it down to nerves on the first one, but a second one, his coaches will be having words.
Let's keep an eye. And so here we go. All right, so it's 3rd and long for these UEA Pirates. They're going to want to convert here to put up a good showing on their opening drive. But it's dangerous field position. They are on their 15-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield this time, a more of a heavy set, 2 receivers out.
Yeah, an offset eye and a pitch player.
Pitch up the middle and not much doing there. So the UEA Pirates playing it safe. Obviously the game plan earlier is not to make any mistakes. So I imagine the punt team will come out, and the ball will go over to Coventry.
And it looks like that man again, Olapona, is going to be the returner for Coventry. He, of course, returned the first kickoff for the game.
The Jets throughout the playoffs actually had a huge amount of success with kick returns. I think they returned 2 kick returns for touchdowns in their playoff run. So they have an effective special teams. And they have effective kick returners. This obviously on a punt. Balls are high and it's going to bounce at the 35-yard line, and that's where it's going to stop. So it will come to rest at the 32, where the Coventry Jets will take over on their 2nd series. No score as yet in this opening quarter.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a surprise, really, to say how deep we are into the first quarter. We know that Coventry are explosive. Of course, they blew away UClan, the UClan Rams, in their first round of the playoffs, and well, they drove straight down the field but got stuffed on 4th. So well played to the Pirates defense for doing that. Hopefully for their benefit they can stuff them early, but Coventry with that explosive offense can really make things go their way if they need to.
All right, Abansky, no, sorry, it's number 35, their running back, takes the ball this time. And that is Tondre Home.
And that time, Pirates doing a far better job on defense, stuffing it early.
Yeah, they do like that inside veer play, it's called, on the flex bone, just trying to get the running back. And that, you know, if they get that inside running game going, it unlocks the rest of that offense for them. But if the UEA Pirates can shut that down, then they'll have more success against this formation. Got a big running back in the backfield now. Can't see whether he's wearing 44 or 28. This time it's Abansky, keeps the ball behind the block, hurdles a man, and look at the athleticism as he goes over the top, and that'll bring up a 1st down. And he's come to play.
What an incredible leap there. Straight over, didn't quite make the landing, but straight over, and I think they're going to give him the 1st.
Yeah, that's 10 for effort. Like a 5 for artistic ability. You know, it needs to land.
Yeah, the landing's got to be right for that gold medal.
Always the critic.
Or at least stand up and give us a bow.
Here we go, another 1st down after that great play, and this time it's a pitch. Number 44 is fumbled and on the ground, and it's a scramble for the ball.
Looks like Pirates have got it.
Pirates are saying yes, and the referee signals it's Pirates ball. So an early mistake from the Jets. And the Pirates are there to take advantage.
There are 2 handling errors really on that drive. Ubanski fumbled the 2nd snap of the drive, but of course made some yards with that big leap. But that time, fatal mistake, and the Pirates all over it.
So that's number 44, Dwayne Obi, who fumbled the pitch there. He's one of their key running backs. He's a big guy, and he likes to run those inside veer plays, as we've talked about before. But on that one, just wasn't up to handling the ball, and as a result, UEA get an early break.
From that first drive, though, it looked like the Jets' defense had the better of this offense. So we'll see if they can do the same with the shortened field here.
I formation, tight end right-hand side. They're going to hand it to the fullback this time, who busts through a hole in the A-gap, and he's going to pick up 6 yards on first down. So a different strategy there for these Pirates, and they're making some yards on first down.
Yeah, you never like to see a fullback running at you when you're in the second or third level for a safety, thinking if that linebacker's not going to make that hit, I'm going to get run over. But he makes a nice gain there, 5-yard pickup.
So they start in the spread formation, do the Pirates, but now they're coming out with more of a heavy set, and they say, oh, well, if you can run the ball, we can too. And they will want to get their running game going. 2 receivers to the top of your screen now, tight end in at the bottom, and a receiver set to the bottom. Pistol formation for the quarterback with the running back behind. This time motion from the tight end. It's going to go to the tight end, but he's met immediately, and a beautiful stop there.
Yeah, well read.
Jets.
Well read by Mohammed there, as he came in and crunched that tight end. I thought he nearly had the pick.
Yeah, if he'd been a little quicker, you would have seen him streaking down the field, because he looked like he saw that play. He looked like he knew that play was coming before the UEA Pirates did.
But if he's been watching defensive film, or offensive film, should I say, it's a key. As that tight end motions across, you know that there's a potential for that to come.
All right, 3rd and 8. So what can the Pirates do after that turnover? They will be desperate to make good. Shotgun, 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen this time. Quarterback back to throw, going deep to this left-hand side. Oh! And very close to catching it is wide receiver George Thomas.
Yeah, he had to make a little bit of a maneuver as he shifted his body around, but just didn't quite get it. The ball dropped over Mohammed that made the earlier hit, and he very nearly got that in.
So that will bring up 4th down. We didn't see him kicking earlier, so I don't know what the distance is on these field goals, but to be honest, this looks like it's out of field goal range, so they're going to look to punt this one back to the Jets. No one back for the Jets to return this one. So you're looking on your screen now, you can see all of the action. There's no one back to return. The ball goes sailing, and it's going to go out of bounds about the 12 to 13 yard line, which is a nice kick from the Pirates.
He's going to mark him higher. It looks like they're going to mark him on the 18, but pins them back still inside their own 20. So the Jets with work to do.
Still 0-0 in this tight defensive battle so far. Mistakes from both teams, penalties from the Pirates, fumble from the Jets, early nerves, but still a good and exciting game to watch. And if you're a neutral fan watching, and we hope you're enjoying the game so far, then you'll be pleased that it's 0-0 and everything to play for.
It may be 0-0, but we've seen a hurdle. We need a hurdle count, really.
We do, Jim.
That's one. That's one.
We do. Hopefully Abansky will give us some more entertaining runner to watch, isn't he?
He is.
He's a big guy as well. I mean, I don't know whether you can pick that up on the camera watching at home or watching on the internet, however you are watching today. Do let us know how you're watching. Yeah, he's a big runner. When you stand next to him, he could play defensive end easily in the British League.
And it looks like they may well have just given him another flag on the play. And it looks like they're going to push the Jets further back inside that 20-yard mark.
All right, so the Jets are going to start from inside their 10 by the looks of things after that penalty.
Looks like it was a personal foul penalty. Didn't quite catch the number. Whether the ref's mic's on or whether we just can't quite hear it up here, I'm not sure. But
90-yard field this, so not a full size, but the pitch is absolute perfection.
It
3G.
is.
It's an absolutely beautiful pitch. It's well marked out. Loughborough University doing a great job in hosting this BUCS Div 1 final.
Yeah.
We've got a screen here for the people to watch that have come along to the game. 1st and 10 then from the 8-yard. Coventry now. Abansky rolling to his right, firing, and that is caught by number 15, who is Rami Olapana on the completion, and he's a good receiver.
yeah, he brought that in really well as he turned his body. Going to be an 8-yard gain and a nice pickup to get them out of that tight spot.
Tend to identify Coventry with a running game, but they do have these good receivers. 15 made a beautiful touchdown. Against NTU in his previous game. Oh, that's a good hit at the line of scrimmage. But he's still on his feet and battling. All the teams rushing in. And they finally bring him to the ground. 44 trying to make amends for his fumble earlier, and that's Dwayne Obi, and he's a big guy to bring down. Good initial contact, but you've got to get more men to the ball, and that's giving him a first down.
Yeah, and that work is going to be rewarded with that first down, and tough running in the offensive line backing them up. See what they come out now with as they're just on the 20-yard mark, and they've got a little bit more freedom to play with.
All right, so 5-man defensive front for the UWE Pirates as they hand this off on the jet sweep to Andy Awau.
Strong running around the edge there.
So it's going to bring up a manageable second down. This is one of those downs where, you know, you can do anything as offense, can't you? I mean, you're close to, I don't know, the 40-yard line. You can dial up a pass, you can go to the run. It gives you lots of options to bring up a manageable third down.
Really sets up a nice play action option here. And with the style of offense they're running, it can do that.
Abansky again on the quarterback key, following his blockers, patient running as he picks up another 7. And they're struggling at the moment, are the UEA Pirates, to bring down Abansky.
Yeah, although when they did get hands on there, they brought him down first attempt, and they needed to do that. They needed to prove to themselves that they could bring him down.
First down for the Jets. It's not an explosive offense as yet, is it? But the thing with this offense is it's so tense, trying to defend the run, defend the run, defend the run. And that's the end of the first quarter, George. That's gone quick.
It has gone quick, but then when you've got a running team like the Jets, that clock does tick away. But no, as you say, it certainly lends itself as an offense for the big breakaway plays, and we've seen potential for those. And there have been very nearly breakaway plays coming, but the Pirates have done well to null them out.
So, at the end of the first quarter, apologies to those of you that have got in touch. It's the UEA Pirates, George. I keep saying the UWE, I'm not sure why that is. UEA Pirates.
I don't know, because we've got it in big letters in front of us, Carl. Like, Specsavers adverts start ringing bells here.
Yeah, we're getting it right. So, beginning of the second quarter. Still 0-0, tense game, good game. Both teams playing well. And UEA looking to see whether they can stop this running attack of Coventry. Abansky back to throw on a first down, and he completes that one. And again, these short slant passes inside. And again, that's number 4, who is Philip Bartu-Mattel. That's the second reception he's had today, and it's a simple play. He's picked up another first down.
Yeah, those cuts across the field, looking for a hole in the zone, a gap in the defense, and well picked up, well read. Simple play, simple yardage.
So the Jets must have amassed well over 100, 150 yards, something like that in this first quarter, but no points to show for it so far, but they'll be hoping to put that right at the beginning of the second. Now into UEA territory. Abansky back to throw, and again it's Bartu that picks it up, and that's a nice tackle from number 84, or number 88 is it? Can't get the number there, we'll get a number for you, but that's for no gain.
It looks like it might be 28 there. I haven't got a 28 on my roster.
Nevertheless, a good play, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
That's Lewis Griffiths is 20. We're not doing very well with eyesight today.
All right, Coventry Jets, 2nd down, 2nd and 9, motion from 15, but they hand it off to that big fullback, and again he's met solidly at the line of scrimmage by the nose tackle. He's done a good job there. Some big hits going in from both these teams. That's number 65 for these UEA Pirates, and that is George Obiagwu, and a nice hit gun in there.
Yeah, nice one. Shows that he's there, shows that defensive line is doing the grind, doing what they need to do to battle through and make a tackle. 3rd down. Again, the Jets like to put it in Abansky's hands on 3rd down. Their star quarterback who's having a great season so far. And again, he's back to throw this time, goes to his receiver number 1. Oh, very close fingertip diving catch, but out of bounds. Owusu with a big leap there. Swan dive, but didn't quite make it.
This Abansky, he can run, he's big, he's strong, he's got vision, and he's got a good arm as well.
He has, yeah, and he looks really comfortable in the pocket, even with pressure coming down his blind side there. His blocker getting pushed towards him. He stood firm, and it was on point, it was on target.
So another 4th down. UEA are back to receive this one. And Coventry Jets ready to kick this one away. It is midfield, so I wonder if there'll be any fakes or anything like that. Let's see. It's a straight ahead kick. Ball's going to bounce, and it's going to trickle out about, oh, it's still rolling all the way down to the UEA 2-yard line, where they will get the ball back. So a great kick and bounce for these Coventry Jets.
Yeah, that is not where these UEA Pirates want to be. They've not managed to muster a lot of offense so far, and to be on their own 2-yard line on the 3rd drive for them is not going to be too good. The Jets have been really quick to that ball, so let's hope they can push forward a few yards and see if they can muster a drive.
Yeah, they certainly have, and you want to protect the ball, obviously, at this critical point in the game, beginning of the, well, midway through the 2nd quarter now. So they come out with a heavy set, big number 90 in the backfield. And they'll also get an up back in the backfield just to the Pirates' left-hand side. Motion to the left, and they will hand off left, but there's not much doing there. So they try and get something up the middle just to give themselves some breathing space.
It looks like they've actually marked them down for a loss of 1.
So that is Cornelius Walters, who's running the ball there. Number 90, played a bit of tight end, and he's obviously a guy they go to when they need critical yards. But nothing there, and you're right, they've marked him 2 yards behind. So now, very close. If you're the Coventry Jets, you're going to want to dial up some kind of blitz here, aren't you, on 2nd down, to see whether you can get that safety, or at least pressure them into a mistake.
Yeah, they were very quick to the ball carrier that time. They read it well.
They're in a spread pistol formation, shotgun. Muffled snap, but it does get out. The quarterback does well to pick that ball up and just get it out of his own end zone. Dangerous times, nervous times for the Pirates, backed up.
A lot of pressure for a quarterback in that situation. Muffed snap, head going down, and he does well, as you say, just to pick it up, scoop it up, and launch it out of bounds.
3rd and 11. What do you play here, George? Some kind of safe play just to give you some breathing room for the punt?
I think you run it up the A gap, up the B gap, maybe, and then just punt that ball away, get yourself out. Or you risk it all. It's the finals, of course. You've already got promotion.
Jets threatening blitz. 24 gives an audible, but now a flag goes down. Maybe one of those UEA Pirates moved. Let's see.
It's whether they give it on the Jets for jumping. And it has been given against the Jets.
So the Jets causing the offense to move, and that will give them a little bit of breathing space. It comes down to about their 5-6 yard line, and it will bring up a 3rd and about 5, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, this gives them a bit more of an option, although they're still well, really under the shadow of their own goalpost. So whether they do just run it or whether they attempt to get the first here.
Lots of movement from the Jets. Stubbs gone back to pass the ball. Oh, and he had a man open as well, but just underthrows. Overthrows 7 and underthrows 87, and that will fall incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like a smash concept there on that right-hand side, the top of your screens, with the number 7 curling underneath. It was Borthwick who dropped the earlier pass, and then a man coming over the top. Really just missed both completely.
Yeah, easy for us to say up here.
Yeah. I can't say I was ever allowed to play.
Up at your 6 yard
yeah,
line.
I mean, I can't say I was ever allowed to play quarterback. I wasn't deemed good enough, so they stuck me on defense.
So the Pirates punting from their own end zone. No pressure from the Jets, and it's a nice high kick which will allow the coverage to get there. Bounce of the 40, and it's taken a UEA bounce. Picked up and out of bounds. So the Jets will take over in UEA Pirates territory, and they'll have good field position for their second series of this second quarter.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some points on the board. The Jets, as you've rightly said, will be well over 100 yards in offensive production, I should think.
It's been all Jets
Yeah,
offensively.
yeah, absolutely.
But they haven't been able to convert these into scores, partly because of their own mistakes and errors. But that, nevertheless, it gives a chance like the Pirates to rally and come back at them.
Yeah, the latter part of the previous drive, the Pirates really stepped up to force the punt.
Different formation here from the Jets as they pitch this one out to big number 44, who tries to make his way, but that's good defending.
Yeah, nice tackle, 31. Dylan Campbell was the first man there, wrapping the legs and taking it away.
So Obi, a good interior runner with quick feet, but less effective, at least on that play, to the outside.
I'd say that's proof is in the pudding. Take away his legs and he's got nowhere to go.
So it's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Jets just moving away on that first down from their flexbone offense, but they're bringing it back now. So 2nd and 11 in their familiar formation, and this time it's going to go play action. Abansky rolling to his right and goes right, and that is very close to an interception. A receiver fell down.
Yeah, and, Michael Johnson was the man there. Michael Johnson had to hurdle over there.
What a great sporting name. He'll have wished he'd made better use of that, because it was right on his fingertips. Nevertheless, still brings up a 3rd down for these Pirates, who are hanging in there through the play of their defense.
The defense has certainly stepped up the last 2 drives. Can they hold? It's 3rd and long.
If you're just joining us, we're in the middle of the second quarter. No score here at Loughborough in this Div 1 final. Jets with a 3rd and 11. And they will hand it off to Obi, who finds a hole and will barrel his way for a gain of about 7, but it will still bring them up 4 yards short.
Yeah, big chunk, but as you said, not going to pick up that first down. But we've seen them go for it on 4th multiple times, whether they try and punt and pin them deep here or whether they go for it. The offense looks like they might be staying on.
Yeah, Bansky's got the play call coming in, so it looks like they are going to go for it on 4th down. Probably some frustration, I would imagine, in that Jets huddle, and they haven't been able to convert these long drives into points as yet. So 4th down from the 36-yard line of the Pirates. Jets driving. Abansky looks to his left, man wide open, and that is complete. Takes a sidestep to his left, and they will bring him down, but not till he gets to the 12-yard line of the Pirates. So on 4th down, they convert big for a gain of 23 yards.
Yeah, Buthio Martel again, the receiver, and that ankle-breaking step to get the extra yardage after as well. Nice athletic play there.
Nicely done by the Jets on 4th down. So that's going to take them to the 13-yard line of these Pirates. And can these Pirates hold out what seems to be, at least at the moment, an unstoppable force as number 1 takes it all the way in for the first touchdown of your BUCS Div 1 final.
Owusu, the first name on the score sheet. And a big run, and once he built up speed, he was not going down.
John, that jet sweep from that flex bone, and they get so many men at the point of attack that it's difficult unless you defend well on that line of scrimmage initially. Once they break in to that open field, they're good runners, and he takes it all the way in for that score. And
that's what this Jets offense is all about, though, isn't it? Getting a runner open, getting them that chance, giving them that chance to build up to speed. And like a stallion, he ran.
All right, they're lining up for the extra point attempt are the Jets. The opening score in this BUCS Div 1 final. That's a low driving kick, and it looks to be no good, and it is. The referees confirm. So not able to convert, but it does give them the 6-0 lead, and maybe that's the spark the Pirates need to bring their offense to life.
1.5 quarters, and we've finally got the first points on. Thoroughly deserved for the hard-working offense of the Jets.
Yep, 200 yards or so, we think, on the ground and through the air, and the Jets finally get on the scoreboard. They have been dominant so far in this game, but it is just 6-0.
Yeah, they took the chance on that 4th and 4, and that really paid off on that drive. Nice big chunk pass by Urbanski to set up that run.
So we're getting ready for the kickoff in this Div 1 final. I can see, for those of you waiting for the Premiership team, I can just see, because we're located up here on the roof, the Hertfordshire Hurricanes have just arrived and are getting their first glimpse of this beautiful turf here at Loughborough. Really done a good job here at the venue. But our focus is still on this game, the Div 1 final, 6-0, a tight game. And let's see whether these Pirates can get a good return here. Nice high kick is going to be fielded at the 10. Picked up and going to his left, and there is a hole there if he can exploit it. He just gets caught, stays on his feet, battling on that sideline, and finally a sea of blue does bring him down.
Yeah, Michael Johnson showing his speed there, well taken, and then that explosive speed, making a nice little pickup on the return.
So Jack Stubbs in at quarterback for UEA. Had a mixed game so far. Will want to get his first completion in.
They need to find something, even if they pick up 1, maybe 2 first downs, just to give their defense a breather more than anything.
2 receivers to the bottom of the screen, tight end in and a receiver to the top. Pistol formation this time as Jack gets ready to take this snap on first down. Hands off to his halfback. Nothing there again. These Jets defenders really tough at that line of scrimmage. Absolutely nothing there for the runner.
Yeah, they are
Edward Shapland.
So fast to that ball. They read it so well. And perhaps some more deception on the offense may do the trick. See if they can call their bluff a bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, George. When you have a defense that reacts as well as the Jets do, you know, you've got to run those counters, reverse plays, something that's going to slow them down. 2 receivers to the top of the screen now. Pistol formation again from the Pirates as Stubbs comes up for second down. Let's see what he's got here. Jets threatening blitz as they often do, and they do bring 6 men. Stubbs going deep, and he has a man wide open, and that's caught. So against the run of play, it is a big reception for number 88.
Yeah, what a wonderful over-the-shoulder catch as well by Ed Thorns. Beautiful grab and a nice big chunk play. Let's see if the Pirates can keep the momentum going.
And the danger is, if you blitz so many guys at the line of scrimmage, you have less guys there back to defend. So if Jack can keep his poise in the pocket, which is what he did there, he's got men downfield.
It looked like the linebackers were playing quite shallow as well, so throwing deep really beat them.
2 receivers bottom of your screen now. Oh, and that's going to go against the Pirates by the look of things, as the snap count was obviously not communicated to the team.
Perhaps just getting ahead of themselves there. It looks like it's a false start call. If you've said, not going to be against the defense for jumping early.
We'll see if we can get that referee's mic sorted out. But in the meantime, hopefully you're following along. That was a false start against the offense. So that's going to bring up a 1st and 15. After that, good reception from Ed Thorns. And UEA will want to build on that. So backed up now at the Jets' 42-yard line. Pirates driving. Stubbs back to pass, looks to his left, and again he's going to go deep, and again it's to Thorne, and again, it's just incomplete. Went into his hands. They want to go back to it, but enough pressure there from the Jets.
Yeah, it looked like Calvin Collins was the defensive back that broke the play up in the end. But it looks to me like the passing game may well be open for the Pirates. If you look back through what they have done offensively, they had 2 drop passes really early on. They've had nothing in the running game, but the passing game, if they can bring these grabs in, there's certainly scope for moving this ball.
Absolutely, and that's what you would expect from a spread team like this. You want to, keep them honest with the run, but really go downfield when you get the opportunities. What these Pirates have to do, nothing to lose. They've already got promotion So let's go out and get the win. This time it's a handoff to number 34, runs to his right. Takes a little juke at the line of scrimmage. Flags go down in the area of holding, we think, George. But
yeah, flags flying, but you saw it there with that defence. They got caught off guard slightly. They bit hard, and it just gave a little bit of movement, a little bit of space for the runner to pick up some yards.
That's Edward Shapland on the run again, beginning to make some inroads. But let's see what the penalty is.
And as you called it, it looks like it is a holding call. Although the officials look like they might be having a dispute about that.
So it's frustrating for the Pirates after that long pass. They're more or less back where they started, unfortunately, back at the 37-yard line, and they've had a false start penalty and then the holding penalty, and here we go, second and about 25.
Yeah, probably in a worse spot, being 25 yards and 2 more downs to try and get it. 3 more downs.
Jets showing blitz again at that line of scrimmage. 6 men on the line, and they bring them all. Pressure from Stubbs, who tries to get to his left, has to throw back across his body, and that pressure from the Jets front is just too much at the moment for Stubbs to cope with.
Yeah, pressure came nicely through the holes there, and it really puts a quarterback in a difficult position when he runs to that left side, certainly for a right-handed quarterback, to try and throw upfield without having to shift his body right round.
So 6-0 Cov Jets, third, and a long, long way for these Pirates. You would look for some kind of screen maybe underneath, or some kind of draw play just to get some yards.
This is when Madden comes in. Just Hail Mary. Just send them all up.
All right.
Send them all up. Go for it.
Trips to the left. Stubbs looks that way, and it is going to go down the middle. The post pass tipped and incomplete. So they tried to go to Thorne again, who's had that big play earlier.
Yeah.
He's now coming up limping, so we hope he's okay.
Thorne's got hands on the ball, but the Jets' defensive back's doing enough. He's certainly walking off under his own. So we'll see how he is. I suspect he's just landed slightly on his on the side of his foot, perhaps, but he'll shake that off.
Olapona of the Jets is back to receive this punt. It is quite windy here. Let's see how this one plays out. And this one will get caught by the wind, but it will take a UEA bounce and go out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. So some signs of life from the Pirates, but not enough consistency to maintain any momentum in the Jets' half.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. But it has given their defense a breather.
Indeed it has, George. So let's see whether this defense can make a play themselves. You know, there are opportunities to get the ball out from this Jets team. We've already seen one fumble on the pitch
And a very,
to Obi. Yeah.
and a very near pick as well by Johnson.
Absolutely. So turnover could bring the Pirates back into this game at any point. It's only 6-0, remember, everything to play for. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome. It's the Div 1 final, and we're enjoying ourselves. We're up on the roof. We've got a great view. It's a great stadium here, and we're enjoying a good close game with the Jets dominating on the ground, but still just 6-0 ahead. They've got stacked receivers this time to the bottom of the screen. Now they motion one. It's a pitch, and it's going to go right-hand side of blockers in front, but that's nice defending, and they're going to hustle him out of bounds. They've got 4, 5 yellow jerseys over there to make sure he goes no further, and that's a pickup of 2.
Yeah, good team defense there to bring the ball carrier down. Looked like he was going to break out of the first tackle, but 2, 3 more guys came over to knock him down.
Second and 6, I think, George, for these Jets.
A generous 6.
Generous 6.
Generous 6.
They're going to be wanting to stamp their authority, aren't they, on this drive? There's 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, and the clock is ticking. So can they get something before the half? Bansky goes to the flat, That's a nice catch. Johnson pushes him out of bounds, but not before he picks up a gain of about 4 yards. So that's going to bring up a nice manageable third down.
Yeah, nice little pickup, nice little out route.
Olegana, good receiver. Had 2 receptions so far today. The only score coming from Andy Owusu on a jet sweep, left-hand side from about 15 yards out. This time the familiar flex bone on third and short. And this time they'll hand off on the jet sweep. Oh, the tackler missed him, so he's got some open field. And he's dangerous in the open field. Johnson has to come all the way over from his cornerback position to pull him down.
Yeah,
Olapona.
Olapona. What a nice play, breaking that first tackle, and we've said it before, and you've said it through experience more than anything. If these runners do get free, they are going to make plays like that.
Absolutely, and the thing was, you know, they had good force on the outside of that defensive line there. You've just got to try and bring that guy down, but they are elusive and strong, these Jets, so even if you get the scheme right, you've got to bring them down. First down, Abansky keeps it himself, and this time he's going to his left with blockers in front, up the sideline and tiptoeing, and again from that middle linebacker position, it's Owusu has to come across and make the play.
And a nice big pickup there for the first down. 12, 13 yards on that play there. And showing that he can run hard.
So if you can stop the running back, the question is, can you stop the quarterback running? Finding it difficult at the moment with so many weapons these Jets have. The Pirates are finding it difficult to contain them, even when they're getting to the ball.
And then to top it all off, they've shown that they've got a passing game as well, as the 2-minute warning comes into fruition.
So the referee confirming 2 minutes to go. 6-0 to the Jets, but they are pushing, and so far it's been Jets all the way offensively.
Yeah, well, up until the 20-yard mark, really. We'll see if the Pirates can hold strong.
First and goal from the 8, Abansky. Oh, and that's tipped and almost picked a second opportunity for an interception.
Connor Kennedy, the man in the middle, got a hand to the ball, but had to somewhat club it down.
They've had their opportunities for turnovers and not taken them yet. That's 3 I count, George. I don't know whether you're keeping count, but 3 potential turnovers, which could, of course, mean the difference.
You know, two picks, but they did get the fumble.
True.
They did get the fumble.
So, second down, from the 8-yard line, flex bone formation. Abansky hands it off to Obi with a big hole that closes quickly, and the middle linebacker coming across to make the play, 4 yards.
Do we call that a low-level hurdle? A low-level hurdle? Cameraman shaking his head. I think that makes 2 hurdles.
2 hurdles?
That's the hurdle count.
Is there some sort of chicken dinner prize in this?
No, I just like to see hurdles. I think everybody does. It's the greatest running move in football.
All right. So it's third down and goal now. Can the Pirates keep the Jets at bay and go into the half with it just 6-0? Big moment now for the Pirates. Abansky on the reverse, coming back to our right-hand side, blocking in front, but he chooses to cut back, and the Pirates chase him down from behind. And so 56 makes a nice tackle on that play.
Yeah, and if he'd backed himself to go around the edge, he'd have had the score there as well, but well taken down by the defense. A last-ditch attempt.
Alfie Tomlin rallying to make the tackle to bring up 4th and about 3 yards. Yeah, strange choice to cut back inside when it did look like, at least from where we're standing, that he had space to that outside.
We'll see whether they elect to go for a field goal or whether they try and punch it in the last 2 yards. And knowing what these Jets have done so far, I think they'll be going for it.
I agree, George. 4th down, critical down, more for the Pirates really than the Jets, because they want to keep it close and they do not want to go into the half with a minute left going down another score. At least if you can hold the Jets to a field goal, you know, you go in with a much better feeling about what you can do in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what we've seen for the Pirates offense, keeping it at 6 points rather than anything else is going to be a huge benefit. But no doubt they'll make some half-time adjustments on both sides of the ball and see if they can bring anything back in the second half. But for now, 57 seconds left on the clock, 2, maybe 3 yards out, the Jets with the ball.
So you've got Awasu, number 1, Abansky at quarterback, Obi at fullback. Who they're going to go to? It's Abansky that keeps the call, going to his left-hand side. Good pressure from these Pirates. Throws a Hail Mary to the end zone. Back of the end zone! Touchdown, Jets! Kept it alive, and number 80 pulls it in.
That is really difficult for a defense when you've got a quarterback scrambling around, but the defensive backs have got to stay with their man until the quarterback crosses over the plane, that line of scrimmage plane, and it has ended in a score.
The Pirates just losing sight of Mark Collins, number 80, who we've not called his name so far. He's one of those receivers they don't throw to too much. It's 12-0 Jets, and they're going to line up for the 2-pointer. See what they bring here, which weapon they're going to go to. Abansky keeps it rather, and that's going to be thrown out of bounds.
Abansky taking a big shot there as well, but up on his feet. That is certainly not what the Pirates wanted, but they've got 48 seconds to see if they can muster anything before they go into the half.
So the Jets, through the tiptoeing back of the end zone feet of Mark Collins, now with a 2-score lead, 12-0. And let's see what Stubbs and Thornton and the rest of that Pirates offense can get going with just 48 seconds left on the clock here. No time to play it safe, is it, George? Nothing to lose.
No, but you, as you've said there, nothing to lose. You're in the final. You've already got promotion. It's a great accolade to add to your trophy case if you win it. Of course it is, but you've got absolutely nothing to lose. So
Michael Johnson back to receive this one. Abansky with the kicking duties as well as his quarterback duties, just in case he wasn't talented enough. And he's going to hoof this one, and it is going to be Johnson who muffs the catch but picks it up, and there's blue all around him, but his timing's good enough to slip. Oh, the ball's out! Oh, Coventry look like they've got it, and they have. So Johnson muffs it initially, tries to make something out of it, but the ball comes out and the Jets recover.
It was a beautiful step when he stepped 2 players, but you got to hold that football. Ultimately, you've got to keep that ball secure, and he failed to do so. And it is going to set up Coventry Jets with 39 seconds left on the clock in prime position to perhaps put three scores on the board before the half.
That took just 9 seconds off the clock, so that is an absolute heartbreaker for the Pirates. Because, you know, not only have you given up the score, but now you're giving the ball back. And these Jets are just beginning to get into their stride on offense. Flexbone then from the Jets from the 19-yard line. Flags down, whistle's not gone, so this is a free play. Abansky, wise to it, goes to his right-hand side, keeps his feet in bounds, and he's going to get a gain all the way to the 6. Now, if that is against the defense, then that play will stand.
It'll be interesting to see what they call here. As they kept that play going, it suggests that it is against the defense.
Everyone sort of stopped, and Abansky, he thought about it for like a split second, and then he went, oh, no whistle, so I'm going to take a run to that right-hand side.
Yeah, he did well. It looks like the officials are just debating whether it was a false start or whether it's going to be an offside call, but we'll soon find out. This could be a big call here. And it is against the defense, so we'll see where they mark him.
Yeah, encroachment against the defense, so the play will stand. They decline the penalty, and Abansky takes the ball all the way down to the 4-yard line where the Jets are threatening with 29 seconds left. So again, only 10 seconds off on that play, and the Jets now threatening to go 3 scores ahead before the half. This time it's a handoff again, men in position, but 15 doing a beautiful job as he gets to the corner, and he will rack up the touchdown.
Olapona with another big play to his name, and first score of the game.
Olapona with a couple of receptions so far, and then just takes this jet sweep. Same play, different personnel, same result, touchdown off that play. Firstly it was Oahu, and then it's Olapona, and these Jets now cooking with gas as they rack up the score to 18-zip.
Yeah, the speed that they've got around that edge is incredible, and he just beats his man into the end zone.
So the point after attempt, close to a block, but this is a better kick this time.
Flag on the field. There's a flag here, so we'll see what they call. And it looks like it was on the defense, so the PAT will be good.
So the Jets exploiting the turnover on the kick return. Michael Johnson dropping the ball, trying to make something happen. Unfortunately went to Jets' way, and they get in for another score.
This is what's so magical about this sport. 48 seconds left, the Jets had just punched in a touchdown, and here we are, not 26 seconds later, in game clock time, and you've got another 6 points on the board by the Jets, another 7 points.
Absolutely, George. Game can turn around so quickly, and now these Jets looking unassailable with 3 scores up. Johnson again, this time picks it up, but he had his knee down, so another error from Johnson on the kick return. Comes up to catch the ball, but his knee was down, and that play will be blown dead.
Yeah, he took it safely though, so no major disasters in comparison to the previous. We'll see if the Pirates try and go for it, or whether they just run down the clock and go into the changing rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going their way towards the end of this second half. It was a very tight first quarter. Wasn't until the second quarter that Jets managed to get on the scoreboard, and so it's gone the Jets' way in this second quarter with 3 consecutive scores and no answer yet from these Pirates. It looks like they're just going to take a safe formation, a kind of victory formation, ironically enough, just take the knee to run out the clock. So the Pirates say, we've had enough actually in this first half. Let's run this clock out. Let's get into the locker and see whether we can't make some adjustments to come back at this team in the second half.
Yeah, I think frustrations may be getting to them with the errors there, but it is now half-time.
All right, so your thoughts on the first half, George?
Oh, it was a great, almost defensive kind of performance by the Pirates to not allow the score, but a lot of yardage given up. But here we are, late on in the second, now at half-time, and really the floodgates perhaps have opened for the Jets. So we'll see what half-time adjustments can be made and see where this game goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So the score at the end of the first half here in Coventry is Coventry 19, UEA 0. We'll see you for the half-time show.
Welcome back down to the sideline here at Loughborough University. We're at half-time in the Division 1 final. Gentlemen, bit of a slow burner to start with, that one.
Yeah, it started off slow in the first quarter. Obviously, we've seen a lot more points in the second quarter moving forward. And Coventry with a little bit more control of the game going on at the moment.
So we'll try and work through that first half for you and pick out some of the highlight plays there. To begin with, Coventry got the ball to begin with, marched down the field quite effectively, and then, interestingly, on fourth down, went for it on that first opening possession.
Yeah, I think we saw from maybe the first extra point attempt, perhaps they don't trust the kicking game. So, offense was rolling, like you said, so stay with it there. I don't think they were successful on that one. And yeah, turn the ball over on downs. But they've moved the ball well, though.
And then the Pirates' first possession, they pick the football up and end up with 3 and out.
Yeah, it's been really challenging, really, for UEA on offence. It's been difficult, but they have moved the ball well through the air.
Next Coventry possession, fumble, and UEA recover. So you think Coventry might be getting things rolling, and then a bit of a miscue.
Yeah, momentum's changed there. They ran that rocket sweep. I think it was Owusu who just dropped the pitch. Big momentum swing, but they didn't capitalise it, unfortunately, and we've seen at the end of the half where Coventry did capitalise on the turnover, and yeah.
Once again, though, the Pirates get the football back and try and establish that run game, but just nothing doing with that Coventry defensive front.
No, they are very aggressive on defence, and it is difficult to move the ball against Coventry on the ground if they're not respecting you through the air.
We then, Coventry pick possession up once again, and we get our first points to the board. Owusu gallops in, basically, from 15-20 yards out, and following, once again, a very effective drive from the Jets on the ground.
Yeah, he moved out of that usual dive-back position for himself, moved him into the wing-back position, and you could see that was going to be happening as you were on the side of the field. It was coming because you could tell Owusu moved out of that position, being moved to wing-back. They're going to be doing something with him there.
We wondered at that point whether that would the floodgates opening for the Jets, but the next Pirates possession, big catch by Ed Thorns, 25-30 yards, which gave the Pirates a little bit of hope.
Yeah, lovely catch on the sideline, and they went 3-by-1, and they ran that smash concept, and corners come down, and they've hit that really nicely into the sideline. It was a really good throw, and he thought, okay, let's see what will happen here. Starting to move the ball, but yeah, unfortunately, again, didn't capitalise on the momentum that they kind of gained by that big play.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, because on that same drive there was a big penalty which marched them back, and then they couldn't really recover from that. Coventry ended up then getting that ball back. Another fantastic drive. Olipano on a big run, setting up a first down, and then number 80, Mark Collins with the touchdown.
Yeah, lovely tiptoe grab on the back of the end zone. Marcus Abansky rolling out to the right and able to see him just sat at the back of the end zone, uncovered, be able to throw the ball in there. Fantastic job.
Unfortunately, then Coventry then kick off to the Pirates, and you think, well, come on then, what have you got? What have you got on at the end of this first half? And Michael Johnson fumbled on that kick off for the Pirates, which sets up Coventry once again for their third score. And I think it was you that said upstairs with me, it got ugly quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he's been one of the bright sparks for me, Michael Johnson. But yeah, he made the mistake again. Coventry capitalised on the turnover. I think it was 40 seconds left when they took the ball, only 20 yards, and yeah, really, really nice run, fast. Got outside really quickly. And yeah, 18-0. Yeah. And
then the Jets managed to convert the extra point there, which gives us that half-time score of 19-0 in favour of the Jets. Any way back for the Pirates at this stage?
Yeah, absolutely. There's an opportunity for them to be able to get back into the game. All they've got to do is establish some run game at the moment. Thorne is going to do things for you through the air, and if you keep targeting him, he's going to be able to get open. He's going to be able to catch the ball like he has been doing in the first half. If they can try and get something going on the ground to complement that, then you've got something moving on offence. But at the moment, Coventry have all of the momentum going into the second half. They are feeling confident, they are hooping and hollering, they're throwing footballs around, and they are looking like the team who have got a bit more, energy going into the second half and feeling confident about themselves.
You guys both obviously have the capacity as coaches, and you've been in similar situations at the half. What's the sort of message if you're the Coventry players, so that they don't end up, if you like, thinking that this one's won at half time? How do you approach that? What's your message to the Coventry Jets at half time?
I think you just need to remind them, it's obviously it's not done, it's a final, they're in a really strong position, but I mean, if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm saying, right, foot on the pedal now, let's finish the game strong and, put them away early if we can.
If we put you, Joe, in the shoes of the Pirates head coach, where are you going?
Go back to basics. It's just a game of football. The field's 53 and a third yards wide. It's 120 yards long. And, you can win this game just like we've won any other game in the season. All we need to do is put one foot in front of the other, take our steps to go where we need to go, and start making positive yardage on offense, stop those key playmakers for Coventry on defense, and the game is ours to win in the second half.
Very quick first half, just about an hour's worth of play, and rattled through. But that's probably testament to the fact that we did see a lot on the ground, as we sort of projected at the beginning of the broadcast. Do you see any teams sort of changing the game plan? Do the Pirates have to go a little bit more aerial now, or can they still stick to that run game?
Well, I think, like Joe said, they need to try and establish the run game, but if the score is the way it is and they're chasing, we will see them take to the air. The key thing is, as Joe said, they don't need to get it all back at once. They need to take the time, and the worst thing they can do now is put the ball in the air quickly, have a couple of interceptions, and then the game's really out of reach. So, yeah. Well,
just to remind you that at the conclusion of this game, we've got the Premiership final between the Hertfordshire Hurricanes and Leeds Beckett Carnegie. That'll be kick-off at 4 o'clock. We will shortly rejoin our commentary crew of Carl Walkinshaw and George Leeds for the second half. But until then, along with our partners today, BUCS, we'll send you to this short ad break.
And I'm getting it. Como lomo, luxury. I'm a night up in this. When I turn up, you know I'm on my. Yes, I'm on my. Yes, I'm on my. I am so. Yes, I am so.
So welcome back to Loughborough University for this Division 1 final between the UEA Pirates and the Coventry Jets. We've currently got a half-time scoreline of 19-0 in favour of the visiting Jets, as they are this afternoon. UEA Pirates are the home team. You would suggest a one-sided first half, 19-0 ahead, but it was very much a defensive struggle to begin with until the Jets managed to find fifth gear, as it were, and fly into the end zone on 3 occasions late in the first half. Later on this afternoon, we've got the Premiership final between the Hertfordshire Hurricanes and the Leeds Beckett Carnegie. And interestingly as well, for our half-time, all being well, we managed to catch up with a couple of American football celebrities, as it were. So all being well, we'll be able to bring you our interviews with Neil Reynolds and also Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. That's all coming up in our next broadcast later on. You might be able to see the teams behind me. Referees are back on the field, so we will pass you back up to our commentary crew of George Lees. But first, Carl Walkinshaw.
Welcome back to the commentary booth. Thanks, Matt, for great halftime comments. It's getting windy up here, isn't it?
It is. It's not so much a booth as just we're stood on the roof.
We are stood on the roof. We do have a fantastic view of the football, though, and the sun is now threatening to come out beyond the clouds here in Loughborough. It's a great setup here. You can see actually on your screen now, you can see the stands at the far side of Coventry's sideline. The home team's actually today's UEA. They are the home team. So they're on the home sideline, and out of shot you can see there's food vans here, and there's all the literati from the kind of BAFA and BUCS, and everyone's here.
Yeah,
it's the BUCS final.
GB members walking around as well, but of course Loughborough almost world-renowned really for their sporting facility. Well, Lugabaroo, as the Australians call it.
I know.
Can't quite pronounce that one.
And it is impressive, isn't it, when you come onto the campus?
Oh yeah, it is. It's a glorious venue. Makes a difference, obviously, with us being at Worcester last year. Not a venue yet that the sport's quite there to fill. One day, I'm sure it'll build, but what a great facility that we've got here today.
Yeah, and there's a truck here as well with a big screen on it, so they've spared no expense to bring the screen in so people can see
Matt Walker's pretty face. That's what they've come to see.
Yeah, and showing the comments from half time, actually showing those on the big screen, which is good. We've got a second half of football coming up in this Div 1 final, and then we are going to turn our attention to Hertfordshire against Leeds Carnegie later on today, which is an exciting prospect for the Prem final.
Yeah, two teams that perhaps really, well, Hearts I think would have expected to at least stand a chance to get here, but Leeds, whether they were quite expecting to get this far, but they've done it, so
they have
a true north-south game to finish off the season.
Absolutely. Coventry doing a kind of haka ceremony there, taunting the UEA Pirates to come out for this second half.
Just looks like they've stood in a fire ant's nest just to take away that fear. That's what I was always told when a team does that to you.
Getting themselves fired up, ready for this second half. We can see Hertfordshire, actually you can't see them, it's sort of out of shot for you guys, but we can see Hertfordshire off the bus, and they've been watching the game. Actually it's Leeds Carnegie, we saw Hertfordshire earlier. They have very similar kits actually, Leeds Carnegie.
They're all purple.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on our cameras. But yeah, we're looking forward to this second half. It is Coventry Jets with a big advantage here, 19-0 over the Pirates. And Matt, Joe, and James kind of thinking, well, how the Pirates get back into this one? What's your
We've seen half time the Jets offense really trying to or starting to take flight and moving forward, and that Pirates offense not finding anything.
Yeah, couldn't get a running game going, and that's where they've suffered. They have had one long pass to Thornton, and but we really want to see more from the Pirates. There's a reason they're here in the final. This doesn't happen by fluke. They are a good team,
yeah,
and we want to see them give a good showing of themselves in the second half. You
look at the stats, and they had the third best offense, third best defense in the division, so they can play football. They can play football. So we'll just see what they can muster, and they'll have made their half-time adjustments, and no doubt they'll have found a way to stuff this offense.
Abansky with the kick, and Johnson takes it on the 30-yard line, makes his move to the 40, still going on his feet. Nice return. All right, good start, but the flags have come in already.
Yeah, Johnson really making up for his earlier mistakes, coming out hard. Great take and finding some space, finding a little bit of a seam and big yardage. It looks like it may actually be a call against the Jets.
So we are off and away in the second half of this Div 1 final, BUCS final. Both of these teams are already in the Premiership. That is for certain. We're not playing for that today. We're playing for the pride to be able to say that you're the champs.
And it is a face mask call on the Jets special team unit, so it's going to be another 15 yards on top of the big return that we had from Michael Johnson.
So a great start for these UEA Pirates coming out, and they're on the 32-yard line already of the Jets. So we've got stacked receivers to the bottom of your screen, one receiver to the top, two running backs in the backfield, Jets the line of scrimmage, and that's a good open hole through the A-gap. And the running back knifes his way for a gain of 12. Here come the Pirates.
Yeah, big strong run. It was Cornelius Walters, number 90. He's been playing tight end earlier on in the game and finding a nice hole and working his way up the middle.
There you go, George. It's a simple game, football. Just make the hole, give the ball, have someone run through it.
Yeah, as Joe said at half-time, just go back to basics. Simple game, man-on-man blocking here virtually in I rather than zone blocking, and just your man is beating their man.
Same formation, Jets throwing blitz again. This time it's the same play, and the Jets say, not this time. Sea of blue force Bennett back, and we'll see where the refs mark this one. Bennett's decided just to take a rest, I think, after that.
Yeah, Walters pushed back there on that run. Defense just swarming through.
So they're going to mark it a 2-yard loss, which will bring up 2nd and 12. Walters, as you say, coming off for a rest after that play.
He is a big boy now that he's come off the sideline, and when he does get up to speed, he's not a man that you're going to want to be standing in front of.
So this time Stubbs, quarterback, with a running back to his left-hand side, two receivers to the bottom. It's a handoff, reverse, and the Jets are right there. Ball comes out. Stubbs has to pick it up, and that was a bit of a cluster.
Well, it was almost like a reverse flea flicker. There was a reverse and then flicked back to Stubbs, and really nothing. Fizzled out there.
So a way, what is that, 12-yard loss?
Yeah.
So the Pirates try to get tricky, and the Jets say no. So we've got now 3rd and about 20, at least 20, maybe a bit more. You can tap onto that.
Oh, the smell of bacon just wafts through the air on this breeze.
Should have eaten something at half-time, George, I told you. All right, pistol formation this time for these Pirates. 3rd and long. Stubbs back to throw. Pressure coming. Keeps his head in the...
Oh!
Kept his poise, but the pass falls incomplete in the end after a tip.
And unfortunately, we don't play one bounce, one hand in this league. Good pressure from the Jets defense, licking the lips at the taste of victory here. Potentially in their grasp.
That series, UEA come out and they get to the 32-yard line and they make some yards, and then they're pushed back on 4th down again, back to where they started after the kickoff. So they're actually back on the 32-yard line, which is where they started after the kickoff. So punting this one, well, it looks like it anyway. Let's see what they do.
It looked like they were going back to basics, and then they went for something tricky, and it just didn't work.
They are going to punt it. Let's see what the bounce it takes. A Jets bounce into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. So the ball will come out to the 20-yard line.
See if the Pirates defense has made any halftime adjustments.
So UEA would have hoped to have done more on their opening possession there. Some trick plays. They obviously came out in that series thinking, all right, we need to make something happen. So, let's put some trick plays in. Let's run a reverse. Let's run a little pitch and catch in our backfield, and it backfired on them.
It's a risky take, though. High risk, high reward, but unfortunately with the likes of those plays more often than not, they just don't work.
Jets with the end around, but this looks like a throw. Number 4 is going to throw it to Abansky, who's wide open, uncovered. The quarterback streaking down the right-hand sideline. And Abansky, the do-it-all player, he kicks, he throws, he receives, and now he's receiving the ball from the quarterback.
Whatever you do, we can do better, rings a bell there.
So that's Philip Bartu-Martel playing a bit of quarterback there.
Yeah,
he was a quarterback. My notes here tell me that he started as a quarterback, so he knows what he's doing. And the Jets driving straight away on this opening possession of their second half.
Oh, and it's gone wrong, but Abansky looks to have recovered it. High snap.
Yeah, quite right, George. High snap. Abansky gets back to it. The wind maybe caught it as well there. It is getting windy and blustery here in Loughborough. 2nd and 20. So mistakes plaguing these early exchanges between these two teams.
I don't think the Jets at this point in time will be too concerned that they're 20 yards away from the first.
Second and 20, 8 in the box for the Pirates. This will go incomplete. Number 4 double team that time. They've gone to Martel, who actually threw the pass earlier to Abansky. Now they're using him as a receiver, but it is incomplete.
Yeah, low pass there. It's going to bring up 3rd and 20.
Third and 20 then. The Cov Jets looking to do something on this opening possession for them in this second half. Familiar flexbone formation, motion, and Abansky will keep it behind 2 blockers. Dances down the sideline. More men in front. Oh, he had one man to beat actually, who managed to get a shoelace tackle to bring him down, but not before he picks up about 19 of the 20 that he needed.
Yeah, it's just like a rolling train there. His blockers leading the way, just pushing people left, right and centre. He read the blocks well, and a huge gain of around about 19 yards.
Such a weapon when you have a quarterback like that. So difficult to defend because, you know, you can defend the 10 because you have the players on defence, but that 11th guy, the quarterback, if he's a good runner as Abansky is, so difficult to cater for that. This time they give it to Obi on 4th down, which will keep this drive alive as he dives forwards for a gain of 5 and a first down.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted all along. They're just going to keep punching this ball on the ground, run this clock down. Take time off the clock, keep it going, keep it rolling. And they've got 3, 4, 5 threats on this offense, really. You can stop 1 or 2, but it just opens the gates for the other 2 or 3.
Another first down for these Jets. Obi now with quick feet for a big guy trying to get to that edge, and he does twist and turn his way for a gain of about 2. Whenever he tries to get that edge, he's threatening it, but they've been pretty solid on the edge when Obi's got the ball.
Yeah, he's not quite as quick as the other 2 runners, the other 3 runners they've got, and it perhaps gives the defense a touch more time to get over to the edge to support.
2nd and 8 for these Jets. 19-0 lead. They're in a commanding position. They've already converted on 4th down on this drive from a 4th and 2 rather. Abansky this time he's short on the pass. Did have a man open, but that doesn't come out of his hand clean. That was Philip Bartu-Martel that he was looking to go to.
Yeah, bring up a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and after that last long 3rd down attempt, I don't think they're going to have too much concern. This looks like a 2-yard situation for them from that previous situation.
3rd and 8. Again, Abansky's been deadly on 3rd down, hasn't he? They've kept the ball in his hands whenever they've needed to. This time he pitches it and fighting his way down the sideline, but is short is a woe.
Just shaking tacklers off there. Bouncing off, big gain, gonna be marked around about 2 yards short.
It's So on the replay here, you can see the amount of blockers that the Coventry Jets get at the point of attack, and Owusu, you know, striving for those extra yards. And again, it brings up a 4th down. And with this sort of field position, the Jets are just in a position to just keep it rolling and play every down. Yeah,
there's no reason really for them to pass the ball. I know it keeps the defense honest, but when you've got a running game that's performed like it has today, why put it in the air?
4th down, Abansky again, that left-hand side, and this time he's going to be close, you know, to that 1st down. Let's see where the referees mark it. Oh, it looks like they've given the 1st down, and they have, so they're not even going to bother measuring. Abansky does enough again on 3rd down to just follow his blockers and get what he needs.
Yeah, just maybe by inches there, but the near sideline judge giving the first almost immediately there.
So frustrating for a defense. You know, you get them on 4th down and you get them on 4th down again, and they convert both times. Exhausting for a defense to keep going up against this, especially when the offense not moving the ball. This time Abansky to the air, goes for that post pattern, and that's a nice pass defending play by number 17.
It looks like Sam Perry was the intended target on the play.
Daniel Williams on the defense. Was a bit frustrated for himself. I'm not sure why, because he did bat the ball down and make a play for his team. And that's the first pass we've seen of this second half from these Jets. 2nd and 10 now from the Pirates, 22-yard line. Threatening again are the Jets. Abansky through the big holder from Owasu's block. And he'll pick up another 1st down as the drive just keeps on rolling. This blue train cannot be stopped, it seems.
Yeah, Johnson, the tackling man there, just managing to wrap him up.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 12. So they can get a 1st down without a touchdown.
They've taken some serious time off the clock on this drive, just entering under the 5-minute mark left in the quarter.
Abansky rolls to his right, pressure, but he dances away, spin moves, keeps his feet. Oh, and it's nearly picked. So Abansky doing everything he can to keep the play alive, nearly throws it right into the arms of number 23.
Yeah, it would actually look like Lewis Griffiths, I thought, getting up, number 20, that came leaping across. But Abansky, even whilst wrapped up, looked somewhat comfortable throwing that football there.
Yeah, he's a tricky character and he has a lot of confidence in his athletic ability. It'll be fun to see him play in the Prem next year, won't it? Because he'll be up against, you know, teams that are used to running quarterbacks and perhaps more athletic guys. Abansky again on 2nd down, back to throw, lots of time. Now the pressure comes, but again he keeps his feet, but can't get away from the second man. Oh, can he? He can! Dancing and weaving, and now puts his head down and heads towards the end zone!
Wow.
Touchdown Jets! It's an Abansky showreel.
There is a flag on the play, but just wow. Whether this stands or not, I think that shows how good a runner he really is.
Unbelievable feet, strength and poise from Abansky to get into the end zone with Pirates all over him.
See, I think this is probably going to be on the offense for almost a blindside hit in what I'd seen earlier on. I don't know if we've got it on the replay at all, but yeah, looking here on this replay.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense number 23. It's a 15-yard penalty from the flag. Replete, 2nd down.
Wow. Take it off the highlight reel.
Just see him going in again on that replay, and
so we'll just delete that play, shall we?
Press the delete button. You're off the score sheet, but he'll stand a chance of getting back on, no doubt.
So that's going to take that one off the board. Poor Abansky now is at 2nd and 20. Well, not poor Abansky. He's playing great, isn't he? He's 3 scores.
It still looked incredible watching it again on the replay. So.
All right, let's see what these Jets can do. Having had to accept that penalty, march them backwards. Motion this time, and they will hand off on the jet sweep to number 23, who finds the edge, heads towards the sideline, and is banged out of bounds, but not before he picks up a good gain of 10.
Yeah, Robert Wands was the runner on that play.
Yeah, we haven't called his name so far, but I guess with 3 scores up, they're rotating players in. They're giving them that experience of a national final, which is what you want to do if you've got a big squad, as the Jets clearly do. I think 92 players were registered for the Jets, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of people on that sideline down there.
So a big squad, both in numbers and in terms of their size. 3rd and 13. Bansky this time will keep it himself again. He has a pitch option, but he chooses to keep it himself and turn it up the field. And that will get a gain of about 6, but it will bring up a 4th and a long 7.
7 yards out from getting that first. From what we've seen so far, you think they'll go for it?
Well, you've got nothing to lose here. It depends on your kicker. They've had 1 PAT which they've muffed, and they've had another one which they've kicked, but they're 19-0 up.
Go for it. Why not?
Go for it. Why not? It's the final.
Long discussion here, so we'll see what they draw up.
4th and 7. They can get that first down without the touchdown. Here we go. Bansky keeps the ball. Play action. Ooh, they try and get the post over the middle, and it's nearly picked, but it doesn't matter because it was 4th down anyway. So the UEA Pirates hold them out. No score.
Yeah,
after the acrobatics of Bansky.
It was Johnson that stuffed that play there, but yeah, Bansky showing what he can do on the field. Truly dominant player today. He has run all over the Pirates.
So the Pirates coming onto the field, they will really want to do something on this drive, absolutely critical. As you said, George, so rightly, the way that the Jets play, they run the clock all the way down. It's now 2:55 left in the 3rd, and the Pirates have hardly been on the field.
They've had one possession, and that didn't last particularly long.
Here we go then on 1st down. What can they do? They hand the ball off to Walters. He tries to get to the right-hand side, but again, good tackling off that right-hand side, and that's maybe a gain of a yard.
Yeah, Roberts-Kelman, number 58 of the Jets, was the man that made the tackle. Looked like a nice big hole that opened up on the offensive line, but not really picked anything up.
They're quick and athletic, aren't they, these Jets defenders? We've gone on about the offense because we've seen so much of them in this game, but this defense currently shut out the Pirates and haven't given them a sniff of anything. 2nd and 9.5, a long 9. Stubbs back to throw, pressure coming, and he's going to go down. It's a sack. Number 58 from the Jets.
Flag on the field. It looks like 56 was the man that made the sack. Adirami.
Got Tyler Roberts-Kelman. I thought it was Tyler Roberts-Kelman coming in.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defence number 56. That's a 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
And whilst he got the sack, he's been penalised for it.
Indeed he has. So again, the Jets, despite the good play of the Jets, they certainly do have an issue with some penalties, and they certainly have suffered from penalties at critical times. Bansky's run was taken off the score. That sack has taken off the scoreboard as well. So we've got Stubbs under centre, I formation. They hand it to Walters, who barrels his way for a good gain on 1st down.
Yeah, nice chunk, and that seems to have worked for them. A mixture of some passing and that I-form running, but they seem to go away from it on the 2nd play, and were rightly or wrongly, I'm not quite sure, but we'll see if they come out in I or whether they go back to that spread form here.
2nd and 3 for the Pirates. Can they put something together and mount some kind of assault as we come towards the last minute and a half, last minute of this 3rd quarter? Again, Walters stuffed at the line of scrimmage and denied. And they've been so strong there. Again, it's 56 on the play. Joshua Adarimi, the Jets, playing hard in the B gap.
Does really seem to be that 2-step well, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, I think, really, for the Pirates. But
so this game is slowly slipping away from the Pirates. We have 46, 45 as that clock ticks, seconds left in this third quarter. I formation now for these Pirates with Stubbs under centre. They hand it to the fullback.
Oh, huge hit in the backfield.
Tyler Roberts-Kelman coming in and clotheslining the fullback, who didn't see it coming, and goes straight to his knees.
Yeah, one arm shot, but you could hear the thud all the way up here on the rooftop.
4th and 3 for these Pirates. Is now the chance? Is now the time for a fake?
Well, looking at how they've come out, do you know, I think they're just going to punt it away here.
Wind is kind of running east to west rather than north to south there, so.
And that is the end of the third quarter.
Now our Bafra crew confirming the end of the third. Bafra crew today: David Hewitt, Albert Lambert, Stuart Tabara, Jed Brooks Lewis, Liam Woodgen, Stephen Leonard and Victor Janvari are all here. They've been our refereeing crew, done a good job today.
Yeah, I think they've called a nice, clean game, really. They've not missed anything major. And I think they've let the game run like it should. It's flowing well.
So 12 minutes to go in this Div 1 final. The Jets with a commanding 19-0 lead. And at the minute, Pirates still struggling to get anything going offensively. We've had some little bursts of excitement from them, some, you know, good fullback runs, but then next play, you know, it just stutters out again. So we'd like to see the Pirates show what they can do, show why they're here. They've had a good season, 7-1, only one team beating them all year. And so we'd like to see them give a good showing of themselves, but maybe it gives you an idea of the, you know, the various strengths in terms of the south north balance in Div 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult to tell strength between division and division, let alone conference to conference. We saw with the Division 1, the East Midlands, well, I say East Midlands really, because virtually all the teams are in the East Midlands, but the Midlands.
Snap. Hang on, George, we'll come back to you on that. Oh, and he tries to pitch it out. I think Johnson's going to be called down. So Johnson back there doing snapping duties, doing punting duties rather, and the snap was low, muff snap, the pressure comes, Johnson can't do anything with it. So
yeah, it's
again,
not.
Luck's just not going the Pirates' way.
No, absolutely not. But the Midlands Conference, as you saw, you had Loughborough, of course, NTU, and these Jets all make it through the first rounds of the playoffs, and I think it shows how strong that division has been. But when it comes to comparing North-South, until this final game, it's nigh on impossible to do.
So let's see whether these Pirates can do something here to stop this Jets onslaught. They would have hoped to get obviously a much better outcome of that pump play, and again they've sort of handed another gift to the Jets, giving the ball to them on the 26-yard line.
Somewhat of an odd situation, because I think for a lot of defensive coordinators, 19 points really isn't a massive amount to give up. It's 3 scores.
Ball replaced at the spot where the ball's thrown. First down.
It's 3 scores, but I don't think for these Pirates it quite feels like that. They've allowed so many yards to go against, but they have held firm in that final 20.
Yeah, they've played better red zone defense, no doubt about it. But you know, there's also no kind of sugarcoating this at the minute. It's a Cov Jets ball game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't help when you've got no offensive production to speak of. And I think they'll be disappointed and look to attempt to fix that for next season.
So this time there's a big hole off the left-hand side, and he's going to turn on the burners and take it in. First play after the muffed snap. And that is a Wusu showing his speed and athletic ability from the running back position this time. Just takes the ball straight up that left-hand side. Touchdown.
The seam was there, he found it. And those legs were striding out.
Good blocking there from the up-back, number 46, and the middle linebacker, 51. They like to bring those up-backs across and actually hit the middle linebackers on the blocking scheme, and it does open up these huge holes unless you are aware that that's where your blocking's coming from. So Jets with a well-designed play, stamping their authority all over this game as they kick the extra point through, and that will take the score to 26 to the Jets, and the Pirates are zip.
It'd be great to see the Pirates get a score on the board, but the way their offense is played, it's looking more and more unlikely as time ticks down. Just under 12 minutes left of the fourth quarter, and of course the game.
You would expect, I guess, the Jets to begin to rotate some of their backups in. There's a big squad, 92 players. They're 26 points ahead. The Pirates are not going to come back into this game, barring an absolute miracle. And so you would expect the Jets to kind of rotate these second string, third string players in. And maybe that'll give the chance to the Pirates to get a drive going. Bansky again, ready to kick this one off. Johnson back again, takes this one cleanly, looks to make some yards on his right-hand side, and down he goes at about the 30-yard line. So decent kick return and good coverage as well.
Nice kick return there, yeah. And gives them decent field position to start the drive. And really, it's whether they go back to that spread offense or whether they try and go for that I form and try and get the power running game going here.
They've had some success with Walters as the fullback to try and get that interior running game going, and then to give Thornton an opportunity to get the ball on these crossing patterns. They've hit him on a drag route to the outside. They tried to hit him on a post. So let's see what they can dial up here. They do go to spread formation, one back in the backfield, two receivers to the bottom of your formation. Stubbs with the snap, looks to his left, and that is tipped up in the air and incomplete.
Pressure coming towards that quarterback fast. Looked like they were in his six there.
Trying to get the ball to Jack Bruce, it looks like, for UEA, but not able to keep his hands on that one. Jets have played well both sides of the ball and have really dominated on defense. We've talked about the offense a lot, but this is a good defensive unit.
Yeah, they've done really, really well. And to say that last season they were playing in Division 2 as well, for them to be here today, promoted in their first season, going up to the Premiership, is phenomenal. And it's great credit.
Off the edge, 37, get it away to Walters, who keeps his feet still. He's a big guy to bring down. All of that action going on in the Pirates' backfield. So they managed to get it away, but it's still only for a gain, a loss of 2 yards.
Yeah, Flanagan was the man that brought him down. But as I say, a real credit to the coaching staff that's taken them from Division 2 straight through Division 1 and straight into the Premiership. So we'll see what they can do next season.
Yeah, they've been together a long time, this Jets squad. Actually been together like 3 years, I think, to bring to this point. And as you say, I think this is the first time that a Div 2 team's gone, all the way from Div 2, then winning Div 1 and then into the Prem. Stubbs, goes down to the ground. Lots of pressure again coming from these Jets, and that's number 51, Emmanuel Foea, with the sack.
It looked like he went down awkwardly there as well as he turned and spun, but it does seem to be okay. And on this 4th and very long, looks like they're going to punt the ball away.
4th and 15. So again, the Jets absolutely stifling on defense. Lots of pressure. They are a pressure defense. And these Pirates have just not been able to keep them at bay. Owusu back to receive this one. Goes way up into the air. It's a short kick, and it's going to take a Jets bounce and just be fielded by the UEA Pirates. Still inside Pirate territory, so they're actually going to get the ball at about the 44-yard line. 90-yard field here, so just inside Pirates territory.
I'll see if these Jets do start to change players around. It looks like number 7, Patrick Bowen, the backup quarterback, is coming in here.
Now, did my eyes deceive me, but did we see Bowen very, very early on in this game?
I think your eyes deceived you.
All right, so
Much like they've deceived
time.
you for the first quarter with their name as well.
Absolutely. Owusu down the right-hand side this time, dancing, spinning for another first down. And this doesn't matter who the quarterback is, the result's the same.
Yeah, he can dance for sure. And finding there's the stiff arm and just slowing down for the spin move there. And a nice hit coming in from the linebacker of the Pirates, number 50, Ryan Minshall.
So the Jets really putting on a bit of a show now. You'll be hoping to add to your hurdling tally, aren't you, George?
Well, I am. We're still stuck on 2. So if one of y'all could sort that out for us, that'd be great.
Well, it's not going to be on that play because the refs have blown it dead. So let's see what Dave Pruitt's got to say on this one.
Encroachment, offence, number 86. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
David Hewitt with the call. And it's 5 yards back for this Jets offence. Let's see what Bowen can do here. Looking to his left. Oh, that's a good hit from these Pirates with good pressure, and there's no whistle. The ball's been picked up. Now the whistle comes in. So let's get this one sorted out. The Pirates are obviously saying that they felt that was a fumble from Bowen. The Jets obviously saying no, his hand was moving forwards and it's just an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I mean it's quite hard to tell. Certainly, at this level of the game, we're not in the NFL. These officials don't quite have the same backup, perhaps, that they've got up in the pros. But it's going to be a big call potentially.
So they're talking now. You can see the referee actually gesturing to his wrist, trying to illustrate to referee David Hewitt where he felt the contact was made by the defending player.
And potentially that may well have been a defensive touchdown as well if it stands as a fumble.
What, even though they didn't take the ball back, George?
Well, he wasn't far away. He wasn't far away. I mean, come on, the whistle was blown, that's why he didn't make it.
So let's see, we're not getting an announcement from David Hewitt, so I think they're just going to say it's an incomplete pass.
Looks like the conversation's going to be an incomplete pass.
So there is no call to make. It's incomplete. Whistle was a bit late, but there you go. So it's 2nd and 15. Bowen back there, but Pirates have shown some pressure. This time Bowen's struggling again to handle that football. So first time it was pressure, second time it was just a snap and his own kind of hands getting in the way, and he falls down to the ground.
A little bit of handbags there. There's no need for that. You're 26-0 up. You don't need to spoil what's been a good game.
So it's 3rd and 10, 20, 23. 3rd and 23, something like that for the Jets. Not been the best series they've had since Bowen got in, but he'll be looking to impress on this national stage. Handed off to Owusu, and it's easy to impress with a guy like that in the backfield. Breaking tackle, still on his feet and driving for the first down marker, and by golly, he's close.
Strong running there. It's hard for a quarterback to come in though this late on in a game, whether you're in a strong position or not. You've got to find the momentum. You've got to find a way to warm up both mentally and physically to come in and prep. So we'll see what he does moving forward.
So the Pirates had the Jets at 3rd and 23, and now it's 4th and 1, and you know what's going to come, don't you? The Jets are going to go for it, right? They're just going to keep the train moving.
It's been the same old story.
This time it's Obi who dives forwards again for the first down. So on 4th down, these Jets convert for what must be the 3rd or 4th time during the game.
Or if not 5th or 6th.
Yeah. So I'm sure those of you out there that are keeping statistics on this will know that these Jets have been effective on these 4th and shorts.
It looks like we've just got a slight injury timeout here.
I didn't see that injury, George. It's the first injury we've had, actually, which has been good. It's been a good, clean game with the very few injuries that we've certainly seen on the field, and that's been good to see.
So it looks like a lower leg injury here. Can't quite get a number for you, but
So the crowd have enjoyed themselves so far in this game. We're looking forward to the game coming up between Hertfordshire Hurricanes and Leeds Carnegie.
A real interesting Premiership season, I think, with the two teams that have ended up here. Neither of whom were top of their division.
So Bami Alapona, who is already had 3 receptions, and I think he's had a touchdown as well. He's one of their top players, Alapona. So he is favouring that left leg, isn't he? So he's very ginger on that right leg. We're sending him our best wishes. One of their star wideouts, plays the up-back position as well.
Yeah, he's had a great game.
He has indeed, and he's getting a standing ovation on the sideline over there by these Coventry Jet supporters. And we return to the action, so it's 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Bowen back, lofts one for the post, over the head of number 86 and incomplete.
It looks like Coventry have got quite a lot of supporters come with them. Of course, they're not that far away from Loughborough, so
poor old UEA had to get up early this morning. 6:30 start for them from Norwich.
6:30. I was up before that. And livestock to sort out.
Yeah, I don't think they were sorting out livestock, George. But they had to come all the way from Norwich. Those roads down in East Anglia are not the best.
They're not not the best.
Stuck behind a tractor.
Yeah.
This,
well, those farm boys.
We're lucky they arrived at all.
Causing trouble.
Anyway, here we go. 2nd and 10. Bowen again back to pass. This time looks for the screen to Obi, but doesn't manage to connect over his head.
Yeah, back foot throw, just lofted that ball over.
3rd and 10 for these Jets. And we got 7:38 left on the clock. The Jets driving, so they are definitely in command of this one. If you're a Pirates fan, you'll be frustrated, I'm sure. The Jets have shown that they're a good team, and it's Obi this time with a big gap up the middle, and he's going to rumble his way for about 6 or 7, and it'll bring up another one of these 4th downs.
He's had people bouncing off him all day long. You watch this replay here. Fine. Nice hole as well, and bang, bang. It takes 2 more to get him down.
Similar blocking concept with that up back coming across the block, the middle linebacker, and just handing the ball off. We've seen the same play run by a number of players effectively. Owusu's run it, and we've had Olapona run it, and Obi run it, and they've all run it well. All right, on the 4th down, they will be denied. So the Pirates, with a bit of sunshine for themselves, as they deny them on 4th down. And that's a good play from these UEA Pirates to get the turnover on downs, and that's Ezekiel Owusu.
Yeah, nice play, but they have been good in the red zone throughout today's game.
Yeah, they certainly have, George. They've definitely played better in the red zone. In fact, it seems to me that the Jets have almost been better when they've kind of scored from long distance.
Yeah, but it allows a bit more space for them to get round the edge, stride those runners out.
So the turnover on downs with the Pirates. Lots of times now here for Stubbs. Oh, he nearly completes that one as well. Jets coming in late to knock the ball away, but number 25 there just couldn't keep his hands on the ball, and that's Joshua Stacey who dropped it.
It looked like they were trying to set up a running back screen on the far side of the field, but he elected to throw into triple coverage there.
Jack Stubbs still in at quarterback, so starter's still out. The Pirates still looking to score, still fighting late on in this game. 6:42 left in the 4th. 2nd and 10 now. Stubbs under centre. The Jets moving around. They do like to move that D-line around so you can't get a good block on anyone. And again, the story of the game, stuffed in the backfield.
Yeah, absolutely nowhere to go. There is a flag on the bottom of your screen.
Offside. Defence number 56. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
They do like to move around a lot, these Jets defensive line. I guess they just caught themselves off guard there.
Yeah, a lot of pre-snap movement as they adjusted perhaps to the strength, or perhaps they just like to move around.
I think it's to confuse the blocking scheme. Yeah, it's to confuse the blocking scheme of the offensive line. And
it's worked for them so far.
Definitely has. 2nd and 5 for the UEA Pirates after that penalty. Stubbs this time from shotgun. Pressure coming off the right-hand side, and down he goes. He was unblocked. It's that linebacker again, Emmanuel Foala, who's got his 2nd sack of the day.
Yeah, he came around with real pace, just bringing Stubbs down.
You can see it totally unblocked, and Stubbs just tries to get out of it, but in the end has to go to his knees to avoid losing the football. Frustrating day for Stubbs. It's going to bring up another long 3rd down for these Pirates. It's 3rd and 10. Three down linemen, but pressure coming, and they send 6. Pressure from the Jets, and they just didn't give enough time. I think you're right, George. They were looking to set up that screen, just not enough time to do it.
Yeah, when that many players come through at once, and your quarterback, it's not an overly tall quarterback either. He's got to tiptoe, and then he's on his back foot, and it just doesn't end up in a good situation.
So again, it's a familiar story on that series for the Pirates. Can't get anything going in the running game. Pressure from the Jets when it counts. 4th down again. Punt time. Johnson's back on for the punt. Owusu back to return. See if what's going to happen on this punt. Johnson fields it, kicks it. Decent kick. Owusu's going to let this one bounce. It takes a Jets bounce, and it's downed. So the Jets are going to take over again with 5:14 and the clock ticking left in this BUCS Div 1 final.
I think the Jets here will just look to run this clock out. Having said that, with them going for a 4th down attempt last time, perhaps they want to run the score.
Yeah, it's always a tricky one because even if you've got a tired defense on the field, haven't you? I mean, how long have the UEA Pirates defense been on the field? They managed to hold out the Jets' onslaught in the 1st quarter, but since then it's just been all blue and difficult for these Jets to stop these running games.
And with this running game, the clock will just keep ticking.
2nd and 9 for these Jets in that familiar flex bone. They've got some new personnel in though. This one will go, oh, it's fumbled. There's a fumble, ball's on the ground. 35's going to pick it up and stumble forward for a couple of yards. But again, they got caught out on the handoff, and that's Tondra Home, if we called a number of times. But the Jets managed to retain possession with a flag on the field. Let's have a look at this one.
And just not a clean give there. But he does well to recognise where the ball is, spot the ball and pick it up.
Unlucky for the Pirates not to manage to get hold of that one. Let's see what the ref says.
Dead ball, personal foul, 56 defence, unnecessary roughness. That's a 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. Automatic 1st down.
I didn't see that myself, but I guess it's a bit of frustration keep creeping in now from these Pirates defenders. They've been on the field a long time. Ball goes on the ground, and you know, in their efforts to get hold of the football, they've just been caught out there. So 1st and 10, Bowen with a reverse this time to Home, who runs himself out of bounds with about a 2-yard pickup. So not a huge amount, but keeps the ball moving.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup, but running out of bounds, of course, stopping the clock there.
2nd and 6. Good for these Jets to get a little bit of these final experience a lot of them have been around since the Div 2 final, I suppose, but it's not. They don't have such. It's not such a big event, is it? The Div 2 final as the Div 1, because you get to play in the national arena.
Yes.
As Bowen drops back and looks to loft this one, but it's incomplete. So it's good to get experience of just being in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, yeah, and of course, as you're playing, really, I suppose it's not your last game of Division 1 as so much your first game of the Premiership, as your opponents are a Premiership calibre team through promotion. So it's really key experience for these guys.
Absolutely. So Bowen in the backfield, got a new running back in the backfield. That's Gerard Martinson, who they're going to flick the ball to on the right hand side, and he is going to run for no gain, and that's good experience for him.
Just under 4 minutes left of this game, and it looks like Jets may well be going for it again on 4th down.
Martinson, number 47, a rookie, so clearly trying to get some reps in for some of those team members that are just starting out with their Coventry career.
Oh no, Bowen has switched out now, so looks like they're setting up for a field goal.
All right. 3 minutes to go. Number 98 is Killen Klein. He's going to have a go at this one. He's from Dusseldorf in Germany.
Delay game. Offense. It's 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
It's going to give him a slightly further kick here. See if the German's got the leg.
Evidently he made the first ever field goal for this team.
Yeah. See if he can make another one here.
Snap's good, pulls down, and this kick is...
Oh,
it's the
denied.
It's the doink play.
Denied by the crossbar. Although he has won the crossbar challenge. Not that he wanted to, but...
So, Klein inches short of kicking what would have been a decent field goal.
Must be a horrible situation for a kicker. Just one more revolution and you'd get that 3 points on the board, and just denied by the uprights.
I don't want to talk about it, George.
Were you a
former
former kicker, or just the
whole experience?
An Angry Bears fan?
Angry Bears fan. Yeah. Let's move on.
There we go. Look at that replay. Oh.
Very, very close.
Somebody's put a post in the way of the posts.
Good kick. All right. Back to the Pirates. Turnover on downs. 26-0. Can they salvage some pride? They hand the ball off. Run is still going. Quick feet, dancing feet. Number 22. Haven't seen him so far. And that is Kennedy Nyrenda.
Yeah, change of play at quarterback as well. Connor Whedon coming in. Looks like the Pirates now succumbing to defeat and giving their guys, their second strings, those third strings, some experience as well.
Absolutely. 2nd and 6 for these Pirates. Let's see if these second strings can come in and make a difference. The Jets again, lots on the line of scrimmage. It's a pitch out this time to Nyrenda. Look at those feet, nice moves as he dances his way for a first down. So comes into the game, 2 carries, first down.
Yeah, wonderful run there. Finds a nice gap and just wiggles his way up there.
Not a big guy, but when you've been playing against Walters for the game, you know, it's a completely different runner, isn't it?
Yeah, different style, and can be quite hard for a defense to adjust to as we hit the 2-minute warning.
So we hope you're enjoying the game, the spectacle of the Div 1 final at home, and you're looking forward to Hertfordshire Hurricanes against Leeds coming up later on this afternoon. We've certainly enjoyed the game so far. 2 minutes to go in this one. So quarterback under centre, first down, 35-yard line, as these Pirates try and get their score on the board. Roll out to the quarterback's right.
That's going to be a flag against the defence, I suspect, for a late hit on the quarterback.
So Connor Whedon rolling out to his right and trying to do his best to get the ball downfield, and he might have made some yards, albeit through a penalty for his team here.
Yeah, he took a big shot after releasing that ball. See what the call is here.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defence number 51. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So that's Fawala, who's was looking for his third sack. Unfortunately, he was a bit late getting to the quarterback.
Hunting, he had the red mist, I think, there as he laid him out.
So Whedon in shotgun, first down. Now into Jets territory, hands the ball off to the running back, who does a nice job of getting another first down. So that's number 32, who is Thomas Barrett. So really rotating these running backs in now.
Yeah, it's nice to see these Pirates finally getting some momentum going on offense, albeit in the 2-minute warning. But keep on rolling, keep on moving.
These players now making their claim for a starting position in Premiership for these UEA Pirates. Connor Whedon then shotgun snap. This time it's handed off to 32 again, and flag comes in from
a long way back. He has got an arm, that official, but the flag does come in after the first down run.
So that's Sam Speak, I believe, on the run. So he's had 2 decent runs. Referees just getting together to discuss this one. What, was it a high tackle, or do you think it was a blow to the head? Not sure.
Could be a holding call on the receiver.
Holding, offence number 92. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
All right, so unfortunately that's on Stephen Spears.
Yeah, it's a shame because it was a nice run as well and got the first down, but it's going to come back.
1 minute 19 left in this game, and it's up to the Pirates, and it's the second stringers that are in to try and get some pride back for this team and get into the end zone. And this time Whedon's going to take off to his right hand side and get as much as he can. Not sure if he was trying to stay in bounds or get out of bounds there, but we'll see. Slides his way down.
It was a nice pickup there by the quarterback. Pressure coming around his blind side.
Timeout. East Anglia. First charge timeout.
It does look like he didn't quite make it out of bounds, so they've had to call a timeout there. Would be great if they did get a score to finish off their season here, and they're so close too.
They are, and they might not have deserved it in this game necessarily, but they've had a great season, and you want to celebrate that season with some kind of, a marker, putting a marker down for the Premier season to come.
Yeah, be a crying shame if they finish with a 0 on the scoreboard today, but they've got to make the effort. That dig deep. 1 minute to go.
So let's see what Connor and the lads from UEA can do. See whether they can get one in the end zone here, or whether it will be the Jets that will come up with the turnover. 2nd and 7. 1:04 on the clock. Whedon back to throw. Lofts one up, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, he's looking for number 7 that time, Ben Borthwick, the receiver. Clock ticks down to 59 seconds. 3rd and 8.
I think we can safely say that the Jets have dominated this one from at least from the second quarter, really, George. And they have really shown what they're capable of. Interesting to get your ideas of how they'll perform in the Premiership after this play. This is 3rd and 6. Whedon hands off, this time to Walters, who barrels his way left-hand side for a gain of 5. You would hope that they would take a couple of shots at the end zone.
Yeah,
but it is going to bring up 4th down.
4th down here, and clock is ticking. Yeah, Coventry Jets in the Premiership. I mean, it's hard to hard to gauge, I think. It's another, I mean, you'll know from experience, it's a big step up. The speed and the power of players in the next level is a lot to contend with, and you know, we've seen the likes of UEA who have been really dominant in that Northern Conference, going undefeated in the regular season.
Fourth down, Whedon going across the middle. Oh, and it's in and out of the hands. Disappointing there. Number 7 couldn't hold on to it. Again, they went to Ben Borthwick, but it'll be a turnover on downs for these Jets to run out the clock.
Yeah, just a touch behind there.
So about 11 seconds, we think, left in this game. 11 seconds on the clock, so the Jets will be able to take a victory formation. But yeah, you were saying, George, it is a big jump, but I've seen a lot from the Jets. They are, and it depends, I guess, on how many players they retain going into next season, because they've been together for about 3 years, which is, you know, as we know in BUCS, that's the typical length of time for a degree.
Yeah, I mean, their key 2 players really on offense has been Yabanski and Olapona. You know, if they're retaining those 2 guys, they're going to do something.
Bowen's going to look to go deep, and Awasu
does
not put a foot wrong. Is equal to the pass.
And he, of course, if they retain him, what a great grab that was.
Absolutely. Now, I think the clock, it's got 2 seconds left on the clock. The Jets still looking to put up a show for the crowd here.
Yeah, I think they perhaps have called a timeout here.
Timeout, Coventry. First charge timeout at the half.
So what do you think of these? What do you think of these tactics, George? Should the Jets just have taken a knee?
I don't know. It is difficult, isn't it? I think a lot of these coaches that try and run the clock up when they're up big are probably the same coaches that wouldn't complain if a team did that to them. And, you know, perhaps it is just a case of, you know, stop me. But then others go, well, it's the finals, you're 26-0 up, just take a knee, you've won. You know, there's no need to run it up in a final. It's not got anything to do with points difference, points against. It is what it is. You've won the game, take a knee. So.
All right, well, they're not doing that, George.
Well, no. No, clearly not.
Left.
Clearly not. But
it looks like they want to give Bowen a shot at the end zone.
It comes down to your own ethics, really, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Your own morals.
Let's see what the Pirates can do here. Bowen is going to go to his left-hand side for Owusu.
Oh, no.
It's going to be incomplete, no flags. And the Jets have won the Div 1 final as the clock runs to 0. They're running onto the field. Signs of elation here from the Coventry Jets bench.
Yeah, thoroughly deserved victory for these Jets, and as you say, from really the start of the second quarter onwards, they were dominant, and yeah, they deserve this victory. There's no question about it.
Yeah, so the final score here is the Coventry Jets 26 and the UEA Pirates 0. We're going to go down to the sideline in just a moment to get some reaction from the guys down there as you see these Coventry Jets players who've had a tremendous season. It's been a tremendous run for them across the board, really, as they line up on the halfway line. So let's send it down to Matt Walker and Joe and James for some of their reflections, and then after the ads we will be with Matt Walker, and then we'll be back up here for the trophy presentation. So stay with us, and we'll see you after this quick ad break.
Coventry Jets, Division 1 champions. Sounds good if you're in blue today. Second half, pretty much what we expected, gents?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a bit more running the ball with their main back. And, you know, really confident moving into that second half, as we said. We couldn't get anything out of UEA moving the ball, and that was going to be a foregone conclusion.
James, pretty much the same story for the second half as the first half, with Coventry being dominant throughout.
Yeah, it was, and I think we saw the defence just kind of, increase their kind of strangled hole that they had on the UEA offence. Yeah, they moved the ball a little bit more, but yeah, it was much a repeat of the first half, really. Yeah.
So we'll run through some of the highlights from that second half. Only one score throughout that second period of play, but it got off with the Pirates starting to get that running game going in the third quarter. Had a little bit of success, and then that bizarre flea flicker that they attempted, Joe. It
was a play that I missed, unfortunately. I was off doing some things, but. They're going to
double reverse into back to the quarterback attempted, and obviously the Jets had sniffed it out pretty early doors.
And Marcus Abansky is a really talented athlete, so you can do things like that with him. They had him on the initial kick return of the game, and if you've got talent like that, you must use it. And I think that Tom Townend has done a lot to make sure that they've done that this year at Coventry. They've tried to use all the talent that's available to them, and quite rightly, especially when you're losing a lot of that talent moving forward to next year.
It was, sorry, didn't want to interrupt you. It was the Pirates that attempted that flea flicker.
Oh, sorry.
So the Pirates attempted the flea flicker. But I suppose, James, when you're that much down, you sort of go deep into your playbook and you're looking for a spark, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. I mean, they they did a good job second half moving the ball. They got a good return from Michael Johnson, 15-yard face cage, took him into good territory, and then they took a trick play, they took a shot. It didn't pan out, but at least you can say maybe if the offensive coordinator, we did everything we could. We reached into, the back page of the playbook effectively, and didn't work out for them. And Coventry defence was really strong all day.
And in the first Coventry possession, it was more of the same. Converted 2 fourth downs on that first possession, and an incredible play by Abansky, who span out of 2 tackles, then ploughed his way to the pylon. And we thought he'd scored, but unfortunately, a personal foul penalty brought that one back.
Yeah, a super talented athlete, and it's going to happen from time to time with penalties, but it's there. It will always be there to be seen by people that it was a great play.
That pretty much was all we had in the third quarter, a little bit of back and forth with no end product. But then on to the fourth, and Andy Hawosu sort of took over a 35-yard TD very soon into the first quarter, where he just galloped and stamped his authority on the game. Yeah,
clearly, I think the best player for Coventry is Olympians running back. I've coached against him a couple of times with the Aztecs, and certainly a really, really good talent. And you saw at the end as well, he's not just a good runner, he's a receiver as well. Quite a really nice pass up the seam. So, yeah, really good talent.
Defence continuing to dominate as well, and amongst other people, Emmanuel Farlow recorded a sack against the Pirates QB, who just had nowhere to go. That offensive line really struggled against the Jets' defensive front today. Yeah,
they can be difficult to block. I can tell you that from personal experience. We got a few hits on our quarterback against them this year. So, they're going to really pressure a quarterback if they can. They got the Pirates into a situation where they were having to pass, and you just pin your ears back at that point and just get after the guy. So there was some disappointment, I think, from the UEA quarterback a little bit with the blocking in towards the end of the game, and it's a bit of a shame to see. But we were talking about it earlier. This game's a lot like last year's Div 1 final, and the same sort of level, a similar sort of result. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the way it goes when we're moving forward.
So 25-0 ahead, that was obviously the game done, and then interestingly, listen to the Coventry team. Do we agree with Coventry's tactics about taking timeouts? And obviously they've got their backup QB in by that stage. What's your opinion about the combination of getting more experience for your backups, but equally, showing a little bit of respect for the opposition at that stage?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, really, it's potentially some guys' last careers with that program, and getting them more snaps and more experiences playing for that team, especially if you're talking second and third string guys that haven't potentially got those reps in the season. But yeah, it's up to them, really, isn't it? They had put themselves in that opportunity to do that.
Kneel it out. Just kneel it out. Kneel it out and just be respectful, in my opinion. Just get off the field. It doesn't need to happen.
Okay, well, thanks for now, gentlemen. You'll join us again for the Premiership final later on. But for now, you can see the presentations about to take place on the field. So we'll hand back up to Carl and George, who will wrap up this Div 1 game.
Welcome back to the commentary booth. Good to have you with us. We're just saying thank you to the crew today, the Baffra crew, referee David Hewitt, Albert Lambert, Stuart Tabera, Jed Brooks-Lewis, Liam Wotton, Stephen Leonard and Victor Jambari, who've done a good job here today. They called the game well, George?
Yeah, I think they did. I think there was perhaps only one maybe controversial call on that potential fumble, but it's a really hard decision for those guys to make. As we said at the time, they're not got the same tools to hand that the pros have. But yeah, other than that, they've called a really, really clean game. So.
And here come the UEA Pirates, who were not equal to the Jets today. But, you know, that's not to take away from the fantastic season that they've had. They fully deserve to be here, albeit they will get the consolation prize in the national final. But they've already won their trip to the Premiership.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal for anyone in Division 1, really, isn't it? That Premiership promotion. 7-1 on a regular season is a great feat. Losing one game, and it was a close game as well. Full credit to what they've achieved as a program, and you know, onwards and upwards, I think.
Yeah, and I spoke to their coach before the game, and he's saying he's very proud of his guys, how far they've come. Lots of good talent on this team, and it will bode well for Premiership football next year. As you say, they've got a lot to do to prep themselves, get themselves into a position to be competitive. And have you been following the debates about the North-South?
the North-South debates.
South teams? What are they?
I mean, we're Coventry and Birmingham. I mean, is there any real difference? There's not. You know, it's not going to make a lot of difference, is it? If you're travelling from Stirling, the extra 20-minute drive isn't going to make a great deal of difference, I shouldn't think, for those teams, and vice versa for the Southern boys as well. But I mean, UEA are kind of out in the sticks anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make a great deal of odds, I shouldn't think. But I don't think they'll make any amendments. I think it's all speculation. But
you heard it here first.
Yeah, I think it's all speculation. It will stick, no doubt, to what it is. I think the Lions will remain in the south, and I suspect Coventry will be in the north, and the Pirates will also be in the south. So
we'll see how it pans out. That's certainly the way it would align under the current structure, and we'll see. But stranger things have happened in terms of restructures in the off-season.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, I don't think it makes a great deal of difference. There's not a lot of difference in it. So.
All right. So head coach there of the UEA Pirates just receiving his plate. There he is there, Nathan Evans. He'll be disappointed. But here come the Div 1 champions, Coventry Jets. They were champions of Div 2 just a year ago, and here they are, champions of Div 1 and ready for Premiership football. So here they come receiving their medals now.
Yeah, led out by Martel there, number 4. He had a great game.
So many good athletes on this team, and it will be great to see how far they go in the Premiership and Premiership North, which is traditionally, you know, not so much this season, but certainly last season was dominant, wasn't it, with Durham and Derby and Stirling and others. So
yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a North-South final. It's been a long time since we've had one of those in the Premiership. But times are changing, you know. Stirling have been up there and Durham have been up there for a long, long time. And some of these teams, you know, University of Nottingham came along and undefeated in the regular season. You know, these teams are coming, and Leeds are down there, and they've done a wonderful job in the north as well. So times are changing.
I agree with that, and I think Coventry, if they retained, it always depends on how many athletes they retain in the off-season. But if, as somebody said to me, everyone was signing up for a master's degree,
yeah,
then they will retain that core group of athletes. So you will see the likes of Owusu, and you will see the likes of Abanski continuing to play for them. And if you do see that, then they've got a genuine chance in the north to really make a dent in it, and you know, perhaps be the first ever team. It would be historical, wouldn't it, if we were here next year and it was the Jets in the final?
Yeah, going 2-1 and then into the Premiership. Yeah,
all the way through. But early days to be talking about that. But certainly they will take a lot of heart from this victory here today, where they have been completely dominant over the UEA Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, their defence was very, very good as well. It really stood out. They didn't allow the Pirates any yardage at all. they had a great game, both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. So as these two teams won't face each other, certainly because they're in different divisions next year, this was their first taste, I guess, of Premiership football, and we would have hoped for a better game, but nevertheless it was still a very good showing from these Coventry Jets.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some explosive offense from them, didn't we? And that play that got called back, you know, and it was a shame that it did, but Yamanski's play shows what an athlete he was, and the athletes that were on the field today, you know, plays were made.
And it's such a tricky team to defend against, because you got that they get you into those third downs short, fourth downs short situations where, you know, if you've got a quarterback like Abanski, he's that guy that's going to really make sure that they continue that drive going. So you've just heard that it's Andy Owusu who's got the MVP of the game and the MVP of the Coventry Jets as the burners go off here.
I love some good pyrotechnics.
It's getting cold, actually. Can we get one of those up here on the roof so that we can, you know, keep warm for the second game here? But yeah, it's nice to see that, and nice to see these Jets celebrating their win here, which in the end was dominant, 26-0. If you're just joining us, actually, where have you been? You missed the Div 1 final.
Thoroughly deserved MVP there, and there they go in celebration as the flames rise.
All right, so it's been great to have you with us for this Div 1 final. Remember, this has just been the warm-up, George.
It has, and it better warm up some more because it's really, really cold up here today. But
so we're gonna, you know, we'll stay with this for a little while longer. We got the Jets still celebrating there on the field, and the UEA Pirates are gathering together and learning the lessons of this defeat. Both of these teams will go on to Premiership action next year, as we've said, and you know, everything to play for now.
You've had a taste of Premiership. What advice would you give to these guys going forward into this this new season?
For me, the off-season is going to be really critical for both of these teams. They need to be looking at what they can do over the next 3 to 6 months to get themselves in good physical shape for the Premiership game. And obviously, they have the good coaching staff, but it's really about how physical can you get, and how much can you close that gap in the physicality of the game. So yeah, we've been very happy to bring you the Div 1 final. Remember, we will be bringing you the Premiership final later on this afternoon, so stay with us. But for now, we're going to take a break, and we'll see you shortly for the Premiership action between Leeds Carnegie and Hertfordshire Hurricanes. Bye for now.